Chapter 1. Seeing Jun Haoyan kill Lu Yun so easily, Huang Sheng's heart trembled. Thinking of Jun Haoyan's words, Huang Sheng did not hesitate. He slowly walked to the front of Jun Haoyan and knelt down respectfully. Subordinate Huang Sheng greets City Lord. Commander Huang, please rise. Seeing that Huang Sheng was so sensible, Jun Haoyan nodded in satisfaction and said softly, "Thank you, City Lord." Hearing this, Huang Sheng stood up and lowered his attitude. "Brothers, why aren't you greeting City Lord?" After getting up, Huang Sheng shouted to the hundreds of guards behind him. "City Lord is a true energy boundary expert. If anyone dares to disobey, they will end up like Lu Yun." Hearing this, everyone couldn't help but look at Lu Yun and feel a chill in their hearts. "Greetings, City Lord." Seeing that Lu Yun was dead, the guards could only listen to Huang Sheng's orders. After Huang Sheng gave the order, they immediately knelt down to show their allegiance. "Very good." Jun Haoyan chuckled, then his face became serious. "Huang Sheng, listen to my order. Gather all the guards and surround the City Lord's mansion. Capture all the remaining members of the Long family. If anyone resists, kill them without mercy." Subordinate obeys. Hearing this, Huang Sheng hesitated, but thinking of Jun Haoyan's thunderous methods, his eyes immediately became resolute. "Brothers, follow me." With Huang Sheng's command, all the guards followed him into the City Lord's mansion. After Huang Sheng led all the guards out of the hall, Jun Haoyan looked at the upper echelons of the aristocratic families in the corner. Feeling Jun Haoyan's gaze, all the upper echelons felt as if they had fallen into an ice cellar. Even so, no one dared to leave. No one even dared to move. The impression that Jun Haoyan gave them today was too terrifying. He was like a killing god. "All of you are the upper echelons of the aristocratic families in Soaring Dragon City. You are all reputable people in Soaring Dragon City. It is rare for all of you to gather here today. Today, there is one thing that this young master needs to get everyone's approval." Jun Haoyan's handsome face held a smile. He looked at the upper echelons of the aristocratic families indifferently, making people unable to see whether he was happy or angry. The previous City Lord Long Yuan unfortunately died an unnatural death. "I feel very regretful, but Soaring Dragon City cannot be without a City Lord for even a day. Now, I announce that my Jun family will be the City Lord of Soaring Dragon City." Jun Haoyan finished speaking, looked at the upper echelons of the aristocratic families. Hearing this, the upper echelons of the aristocratic families were silent for a moment. And then, as if they had already had a discussion, they said, "We have no objections. Young Master Jun's lords is the City Lord position." As for the aristocratic families, they were never who the city was who was not care who was who was the City Lord of Soaring Dragon City was not important to them. Whether it was Long Yuan or Jun Haoyan, they had no influence on them. Therefore, since Jun Haoyan had the strength to become the City Lord, they also had no need to oppose him. Young Master Jun is really a hero. Who else but you can become the City Lord of Soaring Dragon City? Soon after, a group of people started to crazily flatter one person in the lobby of the City Lord's mansion. This scene was exactly the same as the scene when Long Yuan was alive. The lobby of the City Lord's mansion, the upper echelons of the aristocratic families. Even the words of flattery were the same. However, the protagonist had changed. From Long Yuan to Jun Haoyan. Listening to the flattery of the aristocratic families, Jun Haoyan naturally knew their thoughts. With a sneer on his face, Jun Haoyan said, "Very good. Then this young master thanks everyone for your support." Soon after, Jun Haoyan's tone changed and he slowly said, "However, a new emperor brings new ministers. My Jun family has ascended to the City Lord position, so the rules of Soaring Dragon City have to be changed." When Jun Haoyan said this, the upper echelons of the aristocratic families immediately frowned, and their faces turned ugly. Obviously, Jun Haoyan's words were out of their expectations and might affect their interests. They had the heart to fall out with him. But in the face of Jun Haoyan's terrifying true element realm strength, no one dared to take the lead. The aristocratic families looked at each other in dismay and constantly communicated with their eyes. "I wonder what young Master Jun wants to change." Soaring Dragon City has already adapted to the current rules. If there is a big change, it will cause chaos. After a moment, a stern-looking middle-aged man slowly walked forward and expressed his opinion to Jun Haotian. Jun Haotian glanced at the middle-aged man, and this person's information appeared in his mind. Gu family patriarch Gu Yitian, 9th layer of Qi condensation realm. Jun clan, Gu clan, Feng clan and He clan were the 4 strongest clans of Soaring Dragon City aside from City Lord Mansion. Yes, the rules of Soaring Dragon City cannot be casually changed. After Gu Yitian finished speaking, Feng family patriarch and He family patriarch of the other 4 aristocratic families also took a step forward and advised Jun Haotian. Young Master Jun, you have to think thrice. A group of old foxes. Today I will definitely peel off your skin and pull out your tendons. Seeing Gu family patriarch, Feng family patriarch, and He family patriarch together pressuring him, Jun Haotian immediately sneered in his heart. Hehe, changing a few rules will cause chaos. I want to see what kind of chaos it will cause. Hearing this, Jun Haotian slowly raised his head. His evil handsome face appeared very grave and stern as he indifferently said, I am the master of my territory. Since I am the city lord, the rules of Soaring Dragon City should be set by me. As for those who dare to disobey, they will be killed without mercy. Jun Haotian's voice was as cold as the cold wind in the deep winter, immediately making Feng family patriarch, Gu family patriarch, and He family patriarch feel as if they were in an ice house. Then I wonder what kind of rules young Master Jun wants to change. Gritting his teeth, Gu family patriarch braced himself and asked, I only want to change one rule. From now on, all aristocratic families in Soaring Dragon City will be under the protection of my Jun family, but every month, they must hand over 10% of their total income to City Lord. Jun Haotian said in a domineering tone that left no room for doubt. Hearing this, the complexion of all the aristocratic families on the scene became somewhat unsightly. This Jun Haotian's table manners were unavoidably ugly. Even when Long Yuan was alive, he only received 5% of the total income. Now that Jun Haotian had become the city lord, he actually doubled it. Young Master Jun, I think this matter is inappropriate, Feng family patriarch took a step forward with an unsightly complexion. He was truly unable to agree to this request of Jun Haotian. Noisy. Just as the Feng family patriarch was speaking, Jun Haotian let out a loud roar. Soon after, the Feng family patriarch was incomparably shocked as an extremely powerful force suddenly descended and violently tore his body apart. Pung. In the next instant, Feng family patriarch, who was at the 9th level of Qi condensation, directly exploded and died. Chapter 2. Blood dyed the main hall red like withered petals. It was a beautiful sight. Silence. The entire main hall of the City Lord residence was so silent that one could hear a pin drop. The upper echelons of the aristocratic families stared in shock at the nightmarish scene before them. Taking advantage of your seniority. Seeing this, Jun Haotian smirked coldly, his voice chilling. Now, is there anyone else who objects to my suggestion? Standing up, Jun Haotian slowly raised his head. His devilishly handsome face appeared extremely cold under the dim light, as he said indifferently. The Gu family patriarch, Gu Yitian, and the He family patriarch, He Jiju, paled. They had never imagined that Jun Haotian would be so ruthless, killing without a word. Even more so, the Feng family patriarch, who was at the 9th tier of the Qi condensation realm, would die so easily at the hands of Jun Haotian. As for the other upper echelons of the aristocratic families, seeing Jun Haotian's devilish figure, their eyes dimmed. No one speaks? Look at your unhappy faces. You must be objecting to my suggestion. After a while, seeing that no one answered, Jun Haotian's lips curled into a cold smile as he spoke with a cold expression. You have backbone. I like it. A casual sentence, but it made everyone feel as if they were in an ice cellar. It blew past them and landed in their ears. Young Master Jun, 10% is too much. How about this? Let's each take a step back. 7%. What do you think? Hearing Jun Haotian's emotionless tone, the He family patriarch He Jiju felt his scalp go numb. He hesitated for a moment before stepping forward. Lifting his head to meet Jun Haoyan's gaze, Hejiju's lips moved slightly, but before he could finish his words, Jun Haoyan took a light step forward. In the next moment, a merciless suppressive force surged into Hejiju's body. In an instant, blood dyed the main hall of the city lord residence red like withered petals. It was beautiful to the extreme. Haha, take a step back. Do you think this is a market where you can still bargain? Jun Haoyan sneered. He didn't stop and took another step forward. Bang! The He clan disciple closest to Hejiju's corpse looked at the cold corpse, and his legs started to tremble. However, in the next moment, the suppressive might surged forth, and before he could even react, his body was already torn apart. Then blood spurted out like a blooming blood lotus. Seeing this bloody scene, the faces of all the aristocratic family disciples changed greatly, and their faces turned pale. At this moment, even the head of the Gu family, Gu Etian, did not dare to make a sound. His eyes were filled with fear. As for the other disciples, when the blood splattered onto their bodies, a few of them could no longer suppress the fear in their hearts. They immediately turned around and ran, wanting to escape from this terrifying place. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan smiled. Then, he took a few steps forward, as if he was taking a stroll in the park. A swift and violent suppressive force suddenly rushed toward these people, in an unpredictable trajectory. Puff! 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 Those aristocratic family disciples who had almost reached the door, and were about to escape the city lord residence's main hall all exploded. In the dim main hall, the boiling hot blood decorated it. Silence! It was as if only the sound of blood could be heard in the entire world. Smelling the stench of blood in the air, Jun Haoyan's eyes were cold. He lifted his feet and walked slowly towards the upper echelons of the aristocratic families. Tap tap tap. In the silent main hall of the city lord residence, only Jun Haoyan's footsteps could be heard, like that of the Grim Reaper. Seeing Jun Haoyan approach step by step, the upper echelons of the aristocratic families were filled with fear. However, after seeing what had happened to those before, no one dared to move. Even the head of the Gu family, Gu Etian, was the same, even though he was a 9th-tier qi condensation cultivator. He could vaguely feel that the air around him had been locked down by Jun Haoyan. If he took a step forward, he would meet the same fate as those before him. Young Master Jun, Gu Etian said bitterly. His voice was so low that even he found it unfamiliar. Young Master Jun, I agree. I agree to your request. Gu Etian's back was already drenched in cold sweat. He looked straight at Jun Haoyan, a thick sense of impending doom filling his heart. Kiki, you've thought it through? Agreed. A trace of playfulness flashed in the depths of Jun Haoyan's pitch-black eyes when he heard that as he chuckled. Yes, we agree. We agree to give 10% of our earnings to the city lord residence. Gu Etian said hoarsely. Kiki, sorry. 10% was my previous request. Now I want 20%. Jun Haoyan said mildly, his tone undeniably domineering. What? Hearing this, Gu Etian was shocked. With a trace of anger, he said, absolutely not. Jun Haoyan, don't go overboard. Pung. At this moment, a terrifying suppressive force exploded. Ugh! Gu Etian bled from all 7 orifices as he stared at Jun Haoyan in disbelief. Then his gaze gradually lost focus. Even in death, he did not expect Jun Haoyan to kill him so decisively. Plop! Gu Etian's body fell to the ground, his blood staining the corpses on the ground. Jun Haoyan looked indifferently at Gu Etian's corpse, and said in a voice that made one's heart tremble. What a pity. You didn't take advantage of both chances. Jun Haoyan's mutterings were like the cold wind of late winter. It was bone-chilling, and caused the remaining upper echelons of the aristocratic families to break out in cold sweat. Jun Haoyan, you killed all of us. You won't get any benefits. An aristocratic family disciple gritted his teeth, and pretended to be calm as he spoke to Jun Haoyan. Jun Haoyan, you devil. You'll die a horrible death. The remaining rationality of an aristocratic family disciple disappeared in the face of death. He became somewhat hysterical as he roared at the top of his lungs. Then at least I'll live longer and better than all of you. Jun Haoyan ignored him, and continued to take a few steps forward. Instantly, more snow lotuses exploded, creating a bloody mist. Is there anyone else who objects now? Step forward. Save me the trouble of killing you one by one and wasting time. Jun Haoyan smiled faintly as he casually glanced at the upper echelons of the aristocratic families. Chapter 3. Young Master Jun, please spare my life. We'll agree to anything you want. Sensing Jun Haoyan's intense killing intent, the remaining disciples felt a chill run down their spines. Then they surrendered to Jun Haoyan. Very good. Now I want 30%. Jun Haoyan nodded and said without hesitation. All right. This time, these disciples had learned their lesson. Without any hesitation, they agreed to Jun Haoyan's request. We agreed to all of young Master Jun's requests. Not bad. Compared to those old fogies, you guys know how to seize the opportunity. Jun Haoyan was very satisfied with the attitude of the disciples of the aristocratic families. He then scanned the crowd and asked, Feng He and Gu, are the people with the highest authority other than the family heads here? Yes, young Master Jun. I'm the second elder of the Gu family, Gu Feiyang. Young Master Jun. I'm the second master of the He family, He Changyuan. Young Master Jun. I'm the eldest son of the Feng family, Feng Yi. Just as Jun Haoyan finished speaking, 3 people stood out. Out of the 3, 2 middle-aged men came out from the Gu and He families, while a young man of the same age as Jun Haoyan came out from the Feng family. Feng Yi, when did you become the second person in charge of the Feng family? Looking at Feng Yi, Jun Haoyan was a little surprised. He teased, although you're the son of the Feng family's head, now that old fogey Feng Jiju is dead, you might not be able to keep your position. As the eldest son of the Feng family, Feng Yi was the chosen successor of the Feng family. Naturally, Jun Haoyan was familiar with him. However, Jun Haoyan knew that in the Feng family, other than the head of the Feng family, the most powerful person was the Feng family's first elder. Young Master Jun, actually, I'm not Feng Jiju's biological son. Hearing this, Feng Yi's face was a little ashamed, but he still gritted his teeth and said, My biological father is the Feng family's first elder. As long as I want to be the patriarch, my father will definitely support me fully. Hearing this, everyone in the hall, including Jun Haoyan, was dumbfounded. The first elder of the Feng clan, Feng Wuji, and the clan master, Feng Jiju, were blood brothers. According to what Feng Yi said, didn't that mean that Feng Wuji had cuckolded his own brother? Ahem, so you have such a hidden identity. I really couldn't tell. Jun Haoyan looked at Feng Yi with a strange gaze. If that's the case, then you can indeed be considered the person with the highest authority in the Feng clan. Now as the city lord, I appoint the 3 of you as the new patriarchs of the Feng, He and Gu aristocratic families. From next month onwards, you must hand over 40% of your total income to the city lord's mansion. There must be no mistakes. Yes. Feng Yi and the others didn't even think before agreeing right away, as they were deeply afraid that the slightest hesitation would cause them to be killed. However, after agreeing, Gu Feiyang's expression became a bit hesitant. He wanted to say something but stopped. However, what? If you have any difficulties, just say it boldly. I've always been reasonable. Jun Haoyan saw this and frowned. Gu Feiyang, Feng Yi, He Changyuan, all the disciples of the aristocratic families. Although we have a lot of power in the family, we don't have a legitimate status. I'm afraid that the patriarch's bloodline won't let us succeed the position of patriarch easily. It'll be very difficult to fulfill young Master Jun's request in a short period of time. Gu Feiyang pondered for a moment and said carefully, If anyone dares to rent it, they'll be making an enemy of the Jun clan and the city lord's mansion. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan's face revealed a trace of dignity, and he said coldly, I don't mind sending this kind of suicidal person on his way. Thank you for your support, young Master Jun. I'll definitely be loyal to you. With Jun Haoyan's words, Gu Feiyang and the others immediately felt relieved and said excitedly, I hope you can do as you say. If I find out that you dare to be disloyal, I'll let you see how I deal with traitors. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan's warm and bright face suddenly revealed a grave and stern expression. His thin lips pursed into a sharp and cold smile. I wouldn't dare. Feeling the coldness from Jun Haoyan, Gu Gu Feiyang, and the others immediately felt their scalps go numb. They were terrified. Reporting to the city lord, the remaining members of the Long clan are all here. At this moment, a series of hurried footsteps could be heard from the door. Huang Sheng slowly entered the hall with a group of guards. Behind him, there were nearly 20 people tied up. There were men and women, old and young. They were probably the Long clan's family members. Huang Sheng, you traitorous bastard. If the city lord didn't promote you back then, would you be where you are today? Among the Long clan's family members, a woman with heavy makeup and dressed like a noblewoman pointed at Huang Sheng and scolded with an extremely sharp tone. Hearing this, Huang Sheng's eyes turned cold, and he secretly gave a look to the people behind him. Slap! A guard quickly walked in front of the noblewoman who was making a scene and gave her a hard slap. Ah! The noblewoman held her cheek in pain and didn't dare to make a sound. Well done, you didn't disappoint me. Seeing Huang Sheng and the others enter in a single file, Jun Haoyan praised with a smile on his face. Thank you for your praise, sir. May I ask how we should deal with these remaining members of the Long clan? Hearing Jun Haoyan's praise, Huang Sheng's eyes flashed with excitement. However, he quickly hid it and said in a neither servile nor overbearing tone. Commander Huang, how do you think we should deal with these remaining members of the Long clan? Hearing this, Jun Haoyan didn't reply. Instead, he looked at Huang Sheng with a deep meaning and asked him a question. Jun Haoyan's casual words caused Huang Sheng's pupils to shrink and his expression to change drastically. He looked at Jun Haoyan with a complicated expression. He knew that Jun Haoyan was testing him. If he handled this well, Jun Haoyan would regard him more highly and trust him more. If he didn't handle this well, he would slowly be isolated. Should he kill them or not? Huang Sheng's mind was in an endless dilemma. If he killed them all, wouldn't it make him seem too vicious? One had to know that there were old, weak, women, and children among the remaining members of the Long clan. Moreover, he was indebted to the Long clan. If he killed them all, wouldn't it directly show that he was a cold-blooded and heartless villain? Would he still be able to gain Jun Haoyan's trust then? However, if he said that he didn't kill them, wouldn't Jun Haoyan suspect that he wasn't completely loyal to him and was still disloyal? Don't leave a single one alive. Just as Huang Sheng was in a dilemma and unable to make a decision, a cold voice sounded in his mind and stunned him. Telepathy through the air. In the next moment, Huang Sheng looked at Jun Haoyan. However, to his disappointment, Jun Haoyan squinted his eyes and pretended to be asleep. Huang Sheng took a deep look at Jun Haoyan and pondered for a moment. Then he said slowly, in my opinion, the Long clan should be punished for offending the governor. Boom! As soon as Huang Sheng said this, everyone present looked at him with a complicated expression. Their eyes were filled with fear. This person was so vicious. Huang Sheng, you're not human. You're a beast. Bastard, I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. When the remaining members of the Long clan heard this, they cursed Huang Sheng crazily. Oh! Upon hearing Huang Sheng's words, Jun Haoyan slowly opened his eyes and said unhurriedly, since Commander Huang has said so, this young master will respect your opinion. I'll leave this matter to you, Commander Huang, to handle it personally. Chapter 4. If you don't remove the roots, they will grow again. Since Jun Haoyan had become the Long family's sworn enemy, he would not let them go. From the beginning to the end, Jun Haoyan had the idea of annihilating the Long family. You want me to do it myself? Huang Sheng's face stiffened when he heard Jun Haoyan's words. No matter where he was, it was not honorable to attack defenseless captives. Moreover, there were many elderly, women and children among them. If this were to spread, Huang Sheng's reputation would be ruined. Why, Commander Huang, you can't bear to do it. Jun Haoyan looked at Huang Sheng calmly. There was no emotion in his tone. No, I don't have such thoughts. Hearing Jun Haoyan's cold words, Huang Sheng, who was hesitating, shuddered. Sensing the smell of blood in the air, he no longer hesitated and decisively pulled out the battle sword at his waist. He knew that he had no choice. If the Long family did not die, he would be the one to die. Thinking of this, his eyes became determined. His body emitted a strong murderous aura as he slowly walked toward the 20 remaining Long family members. Huang Sheng, What are you trying to do? Huang Sheng, how dare you? Huang Sheng. You. No. Seeing Huang Sheng walking toward them with a murderous look, the Long family members had a bad feeling. They cursed in anger. Hee hee. Hearing these curses, Huang Sheng's eyes turned cold. He said coldly, "From the beginning, the Long family has treated me like a dog. You can order me around and abandon me. It's been so many years. I've already repaid all the favors you've done for me." Huang Sheng's face became twisted and hideous. He suddenly raised his head and stared at the remaining Long family members with bloodshot eyes. As soon as he finished speaking, Huang Sheng slashed his sword at the Long family member who was at the front. Poof. Ah. It was straightforward and spicy. He slashed his throat. Go to hell. Huang Sheng's eyes turned red. After killing one person, he did not stop. Like a murderous demon, he swung his sword again and again. Blood splattered in the air. Ah, ah, ah. One person, one saber, 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 one saber. A moment later, more than 20 remnants of the Long family died under Huang Sheng's blade. Clang! Sheathing his blood-stained saber, Huang Sheng slowly walked to Jun Haotian and knelt down on one knee. Your subordinate is fortunate to have accomplished the mission. Very good. Jun Haotian nodded his head in approval. Soon after, he slowly said, From today onwards, the guard army will be changed to Soaring Dragon Guard. You will be the commander of Soaring Dragon Guard. You will be responsible for maintaining the order of Soaring Dragon City. If you discover anyone disrespecting the City Lord Mansion, you can kill them first and report later. Thank you, City Lord. Hearing this, Huang Sheng was overjoyed. An excited smile appeared on his face. The bloodstains on his face made him look ferocious. Alright, that's all for today. All of you can leave now. Jun Haotian waved his hand and ordered, Commander Huang, send someone to clean up the City Lord's mansion. After some time, the Jun family will officially move into the City Lord's mansion. This subordinate obeys, Huang Sheng said respectfully. After finishing his words, Jun Haotian lifted his leg and flew out of the City Lord's mansion. The remaining disciples looked at Jun Haotian's back as he left. They looked at each other in dismay. Looking at the corpses on the ground, their expressions were somewhat complicated. In the main hall of the Jun family, at this moment, Jun Songlong and a group of Jun family elders were gathered in the main hall. They looked somewhat anxious. Jun Haotian had not returned after leaving for so long. This made them very worried. According to their information, Jun Haotian went straight to the City Lord's mansion after leaving the Jun family. What worried Jun Songlong the most was that he remembered that today was the 50th birthday of that old man, Long Yuan. At this moment, the City Lord's mansion must be filled with experts. Jun Haotian would undoubtedly be in danger if he went there now. Unfortunately, they could not help much. With the guards at the city gate, they could not even enter the City Lord's mansion, let alone help Jun Haotian. Therefore, before Jun Haotian returned safely, there was nothing they could do. They could only wait anxiously. Family head, do you think the young master will be all right? The great elder of the Jun family asked Jun Songlong with a worried face. He should be fine. Haotian is a true energy realm expert. Even if he can't defeat them, his life should not be in any danger. Jun Songlong replied with uncertainty. He still looked very worried. Ancestors, please bless us. Our Jun family finally has a genius with a spiritual body. Please don't let him die prematurely. An elder prayed silently. The rest of the people looked at each other and shook their heads helplessly. They could only leave it to fate. Family head, the young master is back. Just when everyone was worried, a series of hurried footsteps was heard. A servant rushed in. What? Hearing the news, all the higher-ups of the Jun family were shocked. Then they walked out together. However, just when they reached the door, Jun Haotian, who was dressed in white, with his black hair fluttering in the wind, slowly appeared at the door. Haotian, are you all right? Seeing that Jun Haotian did not seem to be injured, Jun Songlong was relieved and went forward to show his concern. Father, I'm fine. Hearing that, Jun Haotian chuckled and shook his head. The young master entered the City Lord's mansion alone and returned safely. God is really blessing the Jun family. An elder sighed. In his opinion, Jun Haoyan being able to return safely was the best result. No matter what, it was fine as long as Jun Haoyan was fine. From today onwards, the Long family will no longer exist in Soaring Dragon City. Hearing that, Jun Haoyan chuckled and said slowly. His tone was very calm, as if he was talking about something insignificant. However, his words were like a clap of thunder in the ears of the Jun family. The Long family will no longer exist in Soaring Dragon City. What did that mean? Could it be? A thought suddenly appeared in their minds. All the elders looked at Jun Haoyan in disbelief. Young master, you mean you killed Long Yuan? That's right. Jun Haoyan casually nodded his head and casually said. Not only Long Yuan, all the people of Long family are dead. From today onwards, it is my Jun family's turn to sit on the city lord position of Soaring Dragon City. Chapter 5. Seeing that everyone was confused, Jun Haoyan briefly explained the situation. Jun Haoyan said it casually, but when the senior members of the Jun family heard what Jun Haoyan said, their hearts were in turmoil. Kill Long Yuan and his son and destroy the Long family. Kill the masters of the 3 major families and appoint a new one. Subdue the guards and become the new governor. Jun Haoyan said these things slowly. His tone did not change at all, as if it was nothing special. However, the senior members of the Jun family were shocked. Haoyan, is what you said true? Jun Songlong looked at Jun Haoyan with a trace of doubt in his eyes. Jun Haoyan's words were too exaggerated. He could not believe it. Father, you can go to the governor's mansion to verify the authenticity of this matter later. Jun Haoyan chuckled and said, I have ordered Huang Sheng to move into the governor's mansion after some time. You can prepare and choose an auspicious day to move into the governor's mansion. All right then. Seeing that Jun Haoyan's words were reasonable, Jun Songlong began to believe Jun Haoyan. Father, I will be in seclusion for this period of time. You can call me when I move into the governor's mansion. After explaining the matter clearly, Jun Haoyan did not care about the change in everyone's expression and spoke again. Haoyan, you are going into seclusion. Hearing that, Jun Songlong looked at Jun Haoyan in surprise. Why is he going into seclusion all of a sudden? He still had a lot of questions to ask. Yes, I have some enlightenment from the battle at the governor's mansion. I hope to break through again with the help of seclusion. Jun Haoyan's expression was indifferent as he spoke with an unquestionable tone. You are going to break through again? All right, Haoyan, go into seclusion. Hearing that, Jun Songlong was shocked and immediately agreed. He did not expect his son to be such a genius. He had just broken through to the true energy realm not long ago, and could break through again. Moreover, he could clearly feel that ever since Jun Haoyan had broken through to the true energy realm, his aura had undergone a drastic change. Although Jun Haoyan was a genius in the past, he was always frivolous and foppish. As for the current Jun Haoyan, he emitted a steady and domineering aura with every movement he made. This was the temperament of a true genius. Looking at Jun Haoyan, Jun Songlong's heart was proud. This is the son of Jun Songlong. After expressing his family's residence, he left the family's mansion's main hall. He left the hall and returned to his own room. This time Jun Songlong, as Jun Harum. Jun was the family's Jun's as he could not relax. He might be invincible in Soaring Dragon City, but he was still an ant in front of those super sects and the 7 holy lands. There were countless true energy realm martial artists like him in the super sects and holy lands. Moreover, he had killed Jun Haoyan, the father of the son of Providence, and slaughtered Long Ziyue, who was suspected to be the female lead's clansman. With the growth rate of these two, if his strength remained stagnant, he would soon be dead. Jun Haoyan, I don't care how strong you are. As long as you block my path, you must die. His tall and straight body was like an unsheathed sword. Jun Haoyan raised his head with a smirk on his face. His pitch-black eyes faintly had a sharpness that could break through the clouds. Since he had come to this world where the strong preyed on the weak and became a villain, he must become the strongest villain. I would rather betray the world than let the world betray me. No matter who it is, I will kill anyone who blocks my path by hook or by crook. The most important thing now was to increase his strength. Collecting the thousands of thoughts in his mind, Jun Haoyan slowly calmed down and began to cultivate the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant. After condensing the first giant elephant seed, Jun Haoyan had not been able to condense a second giant elephant seed. Each giant elephant seed required a large amount of energy to condense. The second giant elephant seed required more energy than the first. With the wealth of the Jun Haoyan, it was impossible for Jun Haoyan to condense a second giant elephant seed. Ding! The check-in time has been refreshed. Would the host like to check in? Huh! Hearing this sound, Jun Haoyan was delighted and immediately said, "Check in." Ding! Congratulations to the host for check-in successfully. Received Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame. Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame. As the system's voice sounded, the origin of the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame appeared in Jun Haoyan's mind. The Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame was an inherited flame of an ancient clan. It was a flame born from the heavens and earth, and was often called a strange flame. The Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame was not only powerful and could burn everything in the world, but it could also temper the body and soul. As long as the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame was successfully refined, the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame could be turned into a boundless sea of fire. It could also be integrated into one's flesh and blood, cleansing the soul and tempering the body. If I can refine this Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame, my strength will definitely rise to another level. Looking at the golden flame floating in front of him, Jun Haoyan muttered to himself. The Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame was extremely domineering. If one wanted to refine it, they would undoubtedly have to suffer endless pain. However, this pain was nothing to Jun Haoyan. For the sake of strength, for the sake of his life, Jun Haoyan had no choice but to accept this. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. As long as Jun Haoyan successfully refined the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame, his strength would undergo an earth-shattering change. Thinking of this, Jun Haoyan took a deep breath and slowly extended his right hand toward the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame. Boom! Just as Jun Haoyan's right hand was about to touch the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame, the originally calm Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame suddenly went berserk. Waves of fire rolled violently. I don't care where you're from. Since you've fallen into my hands, you'll have to submit obediently. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan's face turned cold. His right hand continued to suppress the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame. At the same time, the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant in his body was activated to the maximum. Roar! At the same time, an immemorial gigantic elephant appeared behind Jun Haoyan. Under the influence of the vast and domineering suppression, the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame suddenly became much more obedient. Its attitude was no longer as domineering and violent. You refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Jun Haoyan laughed coldly. The boundless suppression directly enveloped the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame and slowly approached him. Be obedient and let me refine you. I guarantee that you'll be able to evolve to your final form. Jun Haoyan looked coldly at the struggling Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame in his hand and said indifferently, "If you dare to resist again, I'll erase your spiritual consciousness." As soon as he finished speaking, Jun Haoyan directly pinched the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heavenly Flame and threw it into his mouth. Chapter 6. Boom! As soon as the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heaven's Flame entered his stomach, Jun Haoyan felt an unbearable burning sensation coming from his abdomen. Jun Haoyan's body seemed to have turned into a volcano, with flames erupting from time to time. Jun Haoyan felt as if his body was about to melt. His physical body and divine soul seemed to have been melted by the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heaven's Flame. At this moment, Jun Haoyan was in extreme pain. His face was pale and his expression was ferocious. Cold sweat kept breaking out on his forehead, but the high temperature of his body quickly evaporated the sweat. Refining the Gold Emperor Incinerating Heaven's Flame was also the process of fusing with it. At this moment, Jun Haoyan was not only suffering from physical pain, but also from the pain of his divine soul. He could not help but hold his head and curl up in a corner of the bed. His entire body was stretched taut. Jun Haoyan's body would emit a red light from time to time, flowing through his body. Wherever the red light passed, Jun Haoyan's white clothes would be burned. Soon, Jun Haoyan was lying naked on the bed. Waves of red light flashed across his fair skin, looking very strange. It made Jun Haoyan look like magma, incomparably hot. Although he was constantly suffering, Jun Haoyan continued to circulate the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant. On top of Jun Haoyan's body, the shadow of an ancient mammoth floated. It was this shadow that suppressed the Gold Emperor incinerating heaven's flame in Jun Haoyan's body, not daring to destroy it. Even so, Jun Haoyan's mortal body could not withstand the heat of the Gold Emperor incinerating heaven's flame. Endless pain drowned out Jun Haoyan's senses. He felt his blood, bones, and divine soul being gradually melted by the Gold Emperor incinerating heaven's flame. This immense pain was unbearable for ordinary people. At this moment, he felt as if his soul was being roasted on fire. He was in so much pain that he wished he was dead. Even though it was so painful, Jun Haoyan did not make a sound and endured this inhumane pain. He knew very well in his heart that if he wanted to transform, he had to go through all of this. In order to be reborn, one must first be destroyed. Time slowly passed. At this moment, Jun Haoyan's body had been completely destroyed by the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame. His physical body had been reduced to charcoal and had lost all signs of life. Bang! After an unknown period of time. A day, 2 days, 3 days, bang. 1 day, a week later, Jun Haoyan's heart, which had stopped beating, suddenly started to beat vigorously. At the same time, an unparalleled vitality rose from Jun Haoyan's body. At the same time, Jun Haoyan's injuries began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. Crack, crack. Soon, the black dead skin that originally covered Jun Haoyan's body began to peel off slowly, revealing pieces of flawless white and sparkling skin. It was as if he had been reborn. Sizzle, sizzle. In the next moment, rays of dazzling light slowly emerged from Jun Haoyan's body. As these rays of light flickered, the black dead skin on Jun Haoyan's body quickly fell off, revealing his flawless body. On his flawless skin, Jun Haoyan could clearly feel that every pore on his body was doing its best to absorb the heaven and earth yuan qi. Radiance flickered. In an instant, Jun Haoyan suddenly opened his eyes. 2 rays of light shot out from his pitch-black eyes. Spirit body. Feeling the changes in his body, Jun Haoyan was pleasantly surprised. He did not expect that after being refined by the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame, his body would transform from a mortal body to a spirit body. What an unexpected surprise! Thinking about the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame, Jun Haoyan was delighted. Although he had endured inhumane pain this time, he had successfully refined the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame and completely controlled this heavenly flame. With a thought, Jun Haoyan activated the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame. In the next moment, a golden flame suddenly gushed out from Jun Haoyan's eyes. Jun Haoyan stretched out his right hand, and a golden flame slowly emerged from his palm. It was the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame. Carefully feeling the power of the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame, a smile appeared on Jun Haoyan's face. After being refined by him, the Gold Emperor's incinerating heaven's flame could merge with his physical body and constantly refine his physical body and spiritual soul. If this continued, Jun Haoyan's physical body would evolve again one day, even if he did not cultivate any body refining techniques. It could even evolve into a treasure body. After refining the Gold Emperor's heaven incinerating flame, the energy in my body should be enough for me to form a second giant elephant seed. Jun Haoyan put the Gold Emperor incinerating heavenly flame back into his body and began to cultivate the strength of the hell-crushing god mammoth. A few days later, a vast and ancient roar suddenly resounded from Jun Haoyan's body. Roar! This was the roar of an ancient mammoth. After his body had been tempered, Jun Haoyan's body contained a large amount of energy. Finally, he successfully condensed the second giant elephant seed. Following the condensation of the second giant elephant seed, a boundless and domineering energy instantly surged into Jun Haoyan's limbs and bones. Crackle. Inside Jun Haoyan's body, there was a burst of crackling sounds like beans being fried. At the same time, Jun Haoyan's cultivation base rose to the peak of LV1 True Energy Realm. He was only one step away from breaking through to LV2 True Energy Realm. Roar. Just as Jun Haoyan thought that this was the end, the roar of an ancient mammoth resounded from within his body. The third giant elephant seed was successfully formed. Following that, Jun Haoyan once again felt a boundless amount of energy surging into his body. Roar, roar, roar. However, this was not the end. After condensing the third giant elephant seed, Jun Haoyan was shocked to find that a few more giant elephant seeds had formed in his body. Endless and violent energy continuously surged into Jun Haoyan's body, causing his strength to rise continuously. LV2 True Energy Realm. Mid LV2 True Energy Realm. High LV2 True Energy Realm. Peak LV2 True Energy Realm. In just a few moments, Jun Haoyan's strength had reached the peak of LV2 True Energy Realm. One had to know that it had only been a few days since he had broken through to the True Energy Realm. If it were an ordinary person, they would not be able to break through this hurdle in their lifetime. Jun Haoyan clenched his right fist tightly, feeling the energy in his body. At least 500,000 gene of strength. An ordinary LV2 True Energy Realm powerhouse could only reach 500,000 gene of strength. However, Jun Haoyan was stronger than 10 ordinary LV2 True Energy Realm powerhouses combined. Condensing 5 giant elephant seeds had allowed Jun Haoyan to break through to the peak of LV2 True Energy Realm and possess 500,000 gene of strength. If he condensed 10 giant elephant seeds, wouldn't he possess a strength of 1,000,000 gene? If that really happened, he would be able to split mountains and split the earth with a single move. Chapter 7. Although he had successfully broken through, Jun Haoyan did not get complacent. He knew that his strength was nothing compared to the Holy Lands. He would not be a match for any of the core disciples at this moment. Jun Haoyan calmed himself down and prepared to continue his seclusion. Haoyan, are you there? At this moment, Jun Songlong's voice came from outside Jun Haoyan's room. Yes, father. Jun Haoyan was stunned for a moment before he opened the door. Haoyan, you have broken through. As soon as the door was opened, Jun Songlong, who was standing outside the door, saw Jun Haoyan and felt that something was wrong. Jun Haoyan had not completely concealed his aura, as he had just broken through. Jun Songlong immediately sensed that something was wrong. Yes, there's some improvement. Jun Haoyan nodded. Good, you're indeed the Qilin son of the Jun family. Jun Songlong patted Jun Haoyan's shoulder excitedly after receiving Jun Haoyan's affirmation. Father, why are you looking for me? Jun Haoyan said calmly, without a trace of complacency. Yes, Haoyan. I'm going to move to the City Lord Mansion tomorrow and hold a celebration. I hope you can attend. Jun Songlong slowly revealed his purpose of visit. Celebration. Jun Haoyan was stunned for a moment before he realized that his father was afraid that he would not be able to control the situation and wanted him to intimidate the other families. What's wrong, father? Is there anyone who dares to stop you from becoming the city lord? Jun Haoyan asked coldly as he suddenly thought of something. No, but you haven't shown up since that day. Some families are starting to get restless again. Jun Songlong's face darkened when he heard that. Okay, I'll definitely attend the celebration tomorrow. A cold light flashed in Jun Haoyan's pitch-black eyes. He chuckled and nodded. All right then, Haoyan, you should rest well. Seeing that Jun Haoyan agreed, Jun Songlong felt relieved and turned to leave. They actually dared to jump out and jump around. Looks like I didn't beat them up enough last time. Looking at Jun Haoyan's back, Jun Haoyan's face turned completely cold. After Jun Haoyan left, Jun Haoyan returned to his room and continued cultivating the strength of the hell-crushing god mammoth. The next day, in the spacious plaza of the city lord's mansion, a blood-red carpet covered the entire plaza, bright and dazzling. The resounding sound of the guzheng was accompanied by the low sound of the guqin, the flute, and many other musical instruments, which echoed in the square. Disciples of aristocratic families, dressed in gorgeous robes, walked around with crystal-clear wine glasses in their hands. Occasionally, they would gather together in twos and threes. It was rare to see the upper echelons of the aristocratic families in the past. Even Feng Yi, Gu Yitian, and He Changyuan, who had been in the limelight recently and had been promoted to the head of the Feng, Gu, and He clans, appeared at the banquet. The three of them stood elegantly in the crowd. They had never refused anyone who proposed a toast to them. Their faces were always filled with faint smiles, but there was a hint of sadness between their brows. How could they not be sad? That day in the city lord's mansion, when they were faced with death threats, they agreed without hesitation to Jun Haoyan to hand over 40% of their family's income. But now they had successfully become the head of the family. Asking them to hand over 40% of their assets was like asking them to cut off their flesh. Nephew Feng, what do you think about today's city lord succession ceremony? Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan secretly exchanged glances, then asked Feng Yi with a smile. What should we do? Haha. Hearing that, Feng Yi looked at the two of them meaningfully, and a hint of mockery appeared on his face. You're not really planning to hand over 40% of your wealth, are you? Then, how should we deal with this matter in your opinion? Jun Haoyan is not someone to be trifled with. Hearing that, Gu Yitian and He Changyuan looked at each other, then continued to ask Feng Yi. Jun Haoyan. Hearing Jun Haoyan's name, Feng Yi's face suddenly changed. Then he narrowed his eyes, and a hint of coldness flashed in his eyes. I received news that after the incident at the city lord's mansion, Jun Haoyan has completely disappeared. When I received this news, I felt that it was very suspicious. Feng Yi said calmly. Suspicious? A hint of light flashed in Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan's eyes, then disappeared. They continued to ask Feng Yi, what's suspicious? Could it be that you guys have never thought that Jun Haoyan suddenly, having the cultivation of the true energy boundary, is a suspicious matter in itself? Feng Yi's mouth carried a faint smile as he said with incomparable confidence. Nephew, please continue speaking. Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan looked at the confident Feng Yi, and a hint of a smile appeared in their eyes. Then they continued to ask. I've thought about it for a long time, and I've come to two conclusions. Seeing that the two respected elders had chosen to listen to his opinion, Feng Yi was secretly pleased. He purposely showed off. First, this Jun Haoyan is fake, and someone else is impersonating him. Second, Jun Haoyan might have taken some kind of forbidden medicine, which stimulated the potential in his body, temporarily raising his cultivation to the true energy realm. Nephew, do you have any basis for what you've said? Seeing that Feng Yi's words were reasonable, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan were somewhat bewildered and doubtful. In this period of time, I've sent people to probe the Jun family many times, but the Jun family didn't make any powerful counterattack. Jun Haoyan also didn't appear. In Feng Yi's view, since the Jun family already had the strength to rule Soaring Dragon City, then as long as someone provoked the Jun family would certainly send thunderous means to eliminate the invader. But what made Feng Yi puzzled was that the Jun family didn't seem to care about these provocations, and Jun Haoyan also didn't appear to intimidate the invaders. These circumstances also confirmed my conjecture. Feng Yi's tone was full of confidence. He was like a wise man, expressing his opinion with assurance. If that Jun Haoyan was someone else, then that person might not be in Soaring Dragon City at this moment. Otherwise he wouldn't have allowed others to be impudent in front of the Jun family. If Jun Haoyan really took a forbidden medicine, then I reckon that he has already revealed his true identity, and his strength has completely regressed. Therefore he doesn't dare to show his face. Nephew's words are indeed somewhat reasonable. Gu Feiyang nodded, and looked at Feng Yi with a somewhat profound gaze. But even so, these are only conjectures. Do you dare to gamble? If you lose, with Jun Haoyan's ruthless character, I'm afraid only death will await you. Hey, since nephew has said so, I think you must have made some preparations. When He Changyuan heard this, he gave Gu Feiyang a meaningful glance and said with a smile, Nephew, can you tell your two uncles about your plan? Chapter 8. That's right. In order to test Jun Haoyan's strength, I did make some preparations. Feng Yi smiled faintly and said slowly, but there's no need to tell my uncles. Some things won't work if spoken aloud. Although Feng Yi was arrogant and liked to show off, he wasn't stupid. Naturally, he wouldn't be stupid enough to casually speak about something that concerned his life. Haha, since that's the case, we'll sit and watch your performance. Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan looked at each other and said with a smile. In fact, they had been monitoring the Jun family's movements ever since that day at the city lord's mansion. They naturally knew all the information about Jun Haoyan during this period of time, like the back of their hands. Even the information that Feng Yi obtained was secretly revealed by them. They had naturally thought of Feng Yi's guess, but they were cautious and didn't dare to test the Jun family too much. Therefore, they decided to pass the information to Feng Yi. With Feng Yi's arrogant personality, he definitely wouldn't be able to resist taking action. Now, it seemed that Feng Yi's every move during this period of time was within Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan's calculations. For today's banquet, the two of them naturally had a backup plan. With Feng Yi taking the lead, they didn't need to be in a hurry to jump out. Just as the three of them were secretly making their own plans, bursts of thunderous rumbles resounded from the end of the square. The city lord has arrived. As a thunderous shout rang out, everyone's gaze turned towards the end of the square in unison. Ta-ta-ta! Numerous vigorous horses were seen galloping over like lightning in the night sky. The magnificent carriage seemed to be carved out of jade, flickering faintly under the illumination of the colored glass lamps. When chasing horses, the ordinary disciples at the edge of the square cried out in surprise. This galloping horse could be said to be worth 1,000 gold. It was revered by countless families and was regarded as a treasure. However, this kind of horse was used to pull a carriage, and there were even 8 wind-chasing horses. One could imagine the high status of the owner of this carriage. Hiss! Just as the 8 steeds were about to enter the bright star square, they slowly stopped. The hanging curtain was slowly pulled up, and a middle-aged man in a purple robe with a dignified face walked out. It was Jun Songlong. Seeing Jun Songlong, the faces of the disciples of the aristocratic families changed. They immediately stepped forward and greeted. Greetings, family head Jun. Brother Jun, long time no see. How have you been? Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan looked at each other, cupped their hands together and said, logically speaking, today was the city lord succession ceremony, and Jun Songlong was about to become the new city lord. Yet these people did not call him city lord. Obviously, they were scheming something. Seeing this, a cold glint flashed across Jun Songlong's eyes. Then, a modest smile appeared on his face. Brother Gu, Brother He, Nephew Feng. I haven't congratulated the 3 of you on being promoted to the position of family head. Hearing this, the smiles on Gu Feiyang, He Changyuan, and Feng Yi's faces froze. All the aristocratic families who attended the city lord mansion's birthday banquet that day knew how they got the position of family head. Now that Jun Songlong mentioned it, they felt that the people around them were looking at them differently. They suddenly felt uncomfortable, as if they had eaten a fly. No. How can we compare to you, Brother Jun? The position of city lord is at your fingertips. Gu Feiyang stared at Jun Songlong and said in a strange tone. By the way, where's nephew Haoyan? Why isn't Haoyan here on such an important day? Yeah, we haven't seen Haoyan for a long time. Brother Jun, can you let nephew Haoyan come out to meet us? He Changyuan added. Yes, today is such an important day. Haoyan should indeed attend. After that, Jun Songlong said to the carriage behind him, Haoyan, your 2 uncles are so kind. Why don't you come out and meet them? What? Seeing this, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan suddenly realized something. Their faces changed drastically. They stared at the carriage cautiously, as if there was something terrifying inside. As soon as Jun Songlong's words came out, the originally noisy square of the city lord's mansion immediately became silent. Not a single sound could be heard. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the inside of the carriage, and their bodies unconsciously tensed up. After a while, when the dead silence was somewhat oppressive, some clear laughter sounded from inside the carriage. Uncles? Do you think these good-for-nothings are worthy? The incomparably arrogant voice made the deathly silent square even more deathly still. Hearing this, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan both frowned, and their faces became gloomy. Although they were furious, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan did not dare to act out before seeing Jun Haoyan's true strength. But what no one noticed was that Feng Yi, who was standing behind them, smirked. He secretly gave a middle-aged man in the crowd behind him a look. If one observed carefully, they would realize that although the middle-aged man looked ordinary, his cultivation level was actually at the 7th tier of the qi condensation realm. He was considered a decent expert in the mortal world. That man saw Feng Yi's look and immediately nodded. In the next moment, he stepped out with a gloomy face and scolded, "Jun Haoyan, how dare you? The Gu family and He family are elders, and even more respected in Soaring Dragon City. You're just a junior, and you dare to insult them like this? Today I'll teach you a good lesson." As he spoke, the man pulled out a long sword from his waist and prepared to slash at Jun Haoyan's carriage. Swoosh swoosh. However, as soon as he finished speaking, he saw two sharp suppressive forces tear apart the curtain of the carriage and rush over like rainbows. Poof! Crimson blood splattered. The middle-aged man did not even have the chance to react before his entire body was flipped over. His body exploded, and he died on the spot. An expert at the 7th tier of the qi condensation realm had been killed in an instant. This bloody scene immediately silenced the originally indignant scions of the aristocratic families. The anger on their faces immediately turned into shock. "I've only been in seclusion for half a month, and someone wants to challenge me already?" A cold voice rang out from within the carriage, and a vast suppressive force swept out in all directions. Poof! Facing this suppressive force, everyone present felt their chests tighten, and then they spat out a mouthful of thick blood. Even Gu Yitian and He Changyuan were no exception. As for the scions of the lower cultivation levels, they fainted on the spot, their limbs and bones shattered. At the same time, a pair of white jade-like hands slowly pulled the curtain of the carriage. Soon after, a handsome face was revealed. This face was filled with coldness, especially when set off by those perfect and impeccable sword-like eyebrows. It gave him a trace of a unique temperament. Jun Haoyan stepped out of the carriage before everyone's shocked eyes. Chapter 9. Bastard. If anyone dares to say that Jun Haoyan took forbidden medicine again, this young master will tear his mouth apart. Seeing that the expert he had invited with a lot of money was actually killed by Jun Haoyan, Feng Yi's complexion became extremely unsightly. At this moment, he was very glad that he didn't send the people of Feng clan to provoke Jun Haoyan. Otherwise, with Jun Haoyan's character, he reckoned that the entire Feng clan would be exterminated. Recalling the fate of Long clan, Feng Yi still trembled with fear. Compared to Feng Yi's rejoicing, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan's complexion became even more unsightly. Originally, when they saw someone taking the lead to provoke Jun Haoyan, they were secretly happy in their heart. But the next scene of this person being killed by Jun Haoyan made their complexion become somewhat unsightly. Recalling the words this person had said to Jun Haoyan, the complexion of these two people turned green with anger. "It's fine if you are courting death, but why are you dragging us along?" These two patriarchs secretly swore in their hearts that after this celebration, they would definitely properly greet that fellow's family. "What? Looking at everyone's expression, it seems you don't want to see me?" Jun Haoyan got down from the carriage. Wearing white clothes, he indifferently looked all around and indifferently said, How can that be to see Sage? Young Master Jun, we can't be happier?" Feeling Jun Haoyan's indifferent gaze, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan's heart suddenly tightened, but they forced a smile and said. The brief silence was broken by Jun Haoyan's voice. The higher-ups of the aristocratic families stepped forward to greet him. "Not seeing you for half a month, young Master Jun is still as elegant as before." With young Master Jun overseeing Soaring Dragon City, my Soaring Dragon City will definitely rise in the future. No one can shake the majesty of my Soaring Dragon City. Soon after, flattering voices poured out like raindrops. The atmosphere of the entire square seemed to have reached a climax with the appearance of Jun Haoyan. "Alright, the auspicious hour has arrived. If you want to catch up, Wait until the city lord succession ceremony is over. Jun Haoyan was a little impatient when he heard these flattering words that went against his heart, so he directly interrupted them. Just as he finished speaking, Jun Haoyan walked in front of Jun Songlong to lead the way. In front of Jun Songlong, this #1 expert of Soaring Dragon City willingly restrained all his sharpness and became simple and unadorned. After that, the two of them walked straight to the center of the plaza of the city lord's mansion. The aristocratic families on both sides consciously made way for the two of them. When the two walked on the red carpet, whether it was Jun Haoyan or Jun Songlong, both of them were dazzling. Looks like we were all wrong. Gu Feiyang looked at Jun Haoyan's back with a complicated expression. Now that things have come to this, we have no other choice but to agree to Jun Haoyan's request. He Chongyuan's expression was somewhat dispirited as he said helplessly, "Humph." As for Feng Yi, he looked at Jun Haoyan coldly and snorted coldly. However, he did not dare to say anything harsh. Next, under the auspices of the elders of the Jun family, the city lord succession ceremony officially began. With Jun Haoyan personally overseeing the ceremony, naturally, no one dared to cause any trouble. It could be said that the succession ceremony was held perfectly. Greetings, City Lord. When the succession ceremony was over, all the members of the aristocratic families present shouted to Jun Songlong. "Ha ha ha, everyone, please take your seats." Jun Songlong was overjoyed. He flung his purple robe and said with great majesty, "Roar." At this moment in the sky, a high-pitched cry suddenly pierced through the clouds and cracked the stones. Then, a terrifying pressure that blotted out the sky slowly descended, and a huge shadow swept across the void. Everyone was shocked. Then they looked at the sky and their pupils suddenly shrank. Thousands of meters up in the sky, an enormous creature had appeared out of nowhere. Demonic beast. Seeing the huge monster in the sky, Jun Haoyan's mind suddenly flashed with these two words. In the Wushan continent, the demonic beast clan was also a big clan. Their strength was not weaker than humans. Roar. Just as Jun Haoyan and the rest were bewildered, the demonic beast in the sky screeched and suddenly flew down. A terrifying aura rushed toward them. Su Bai sized up the unknown demonic beast and was secretly shocked. The demonic beast's strength was actually at the true energy realm. Roar. To everyone's surprise, when the huge demonic beast was dozens of meters away from the ground, it suddenly stopped and directly suspended in the void. In the next moment, a figure jumped down from the demonic beast and slowly landed in the square of the city lord mansion. The moment the figure landed on the ground, an extremely powerful pressure spread across the square. True energy realm. Feeling the pressure, everyone present was shocked. The person who came was actually a true energy realm elite. When they saw the face of the figure, they were even more shocked. The person's age was actually the same as Jun Haoyan. He looked to be in his teens. Are all the young people nowadays so monstrous? The upper echelons of the aristocratic families present all had such thoughts. Jun Haoyan felt the aura and was shocked. This person was at least at the 4th level of the true energy realm. Langya Sacred Ground Lu Feng. Greetings, City Lord Long. While everyone was guessing the purpose of the young man's visit, the young man looked at Jun Songlong and said with slight respect, "Langya Sacred Ground." When the young man spoke, everyone present was shocked. This person was actually from Langya Sacred Ground. Jun Haoyan's pupil shrank when he heard the young man's words. This person was actually from Langya Sacred Ground. What was worse was that from his words, he was actually looking for Long Yuan. However, Jun Haoyan also obtained a lot of information from his words. Firstly, this person must have never seen Long Yuan in person. Secondly, as a disciple of Langya Sacred Ground, he came to this small soaring dragon city without a trace of arrogance. Obviously, he had some scruples. Jun Haoyan guessed that this person should be here because of Long Ziyue. Moreover, this person's position in Langya Sacred Ground should not be as high as Long Ziyue. Although Jun Haoyan was a little afraid of Lu Feng's strength, he did not panic in his heart. He was thinking of a way to break out of this situation. Haoyan this? Unlike Jun Haoyan, when Jun Songlong heard that Lu Feng was from Langya Sacred Ground and seemed to be looking for Long Yuan, he suddenly felt a chill in his heart. Otherwise, as the head of the Jun family, Jun Sunglong was not a mediocre person. He forced himself to calm down and signaled to Jun Haoyan with his eyes. Father, you have to calm down. From now on, you're the city lord Long Yuan, and I'm Long Bufan. Seeing Jun Sunglong's gaze, Jun Haoyan's expression did not change. He directly transmitted a message. Just do your best to deal with it. Don't be afraid. I'm not weaker than him. Hearing this, Jun Sunglong was relieved and regained his calm state. He looked at Lu Feng and said slowly, so it's a distinguished guest from Langya sacred ground. I'm sorry for not going out to meet you. At this moment, the surrounding members of the aristocratic families also reacted. Seeing that Jun Sunglong referred to himself as Long Yuan, their eyes flickered as if they were brewing some plan. You'd better not talk too much. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. Just as they were harboring some evil thoughts in their minds, an extremely cold voice sounded in their minds. Chapter 10. While Jun Haoyan transmitted his voice, he also released his cultivation. The pressure of a true element boundary once again swept through the entire square of the City Lord mansion. Lu Feng thanks City Lord. Lu Feng, who was about to thank Jun Haoyan, suddenly felt the pressure and looked at Jun Haoyan with some surprise. When he saw Jun Haoyan's similarly young face, his eyes became very surprised. This is? I am Long Bufan, the young city lord of Soaring Dragon City. Jun Haoyan said indifferently. His attitude was neither servile nor overbearing, and even showed some arrogance. At this moment, he was playing the role of Long Bufan, who had Long Ziyue, a core disciple of Langya Holy Land, as elder sister. And Lu Feng's status was obviously inferior to Long Ziyue, so it was beneficial for him to show a bit of strength. Long Bufan, may I ask who is Long Ziyue's senior sister Long? Sure enough, when Lu Feng heard Jun Haoyan introduce himself, he immediately had a guess in his heart. She is my elder sister. Jun Haoyan nodded lightly. It turns out that you are the younger brother that senior sister Long often talks about. I often hear senior sister Long say that she has a talented younger brother. Today, I see that you really live up to your reputation. Seeing Jun Haoyan nodding, Lu Feng's attitude towards Jun Haoyan instantly changed, and his tone even had a hint of flattery. You are already in the true element boundary at such a young age. Brother Long really lives up to the name of a genius. Seeing Lu Feng's attitude, Jun Haoyan was completely sure that Lu Feng's status in Langya Holy Land should not be very high, at least much lower than Long Ziyue. However, one does not hit a smiling person, and besides, he did not offend him. So Jun Haoyan did not show an overbearing look. Moreover, he was an imposter. Haha, Brother Lu praises me too much. Compared to Brother Lu, who was born in a holy land, this Long is still far from being comparable. Thus, Jun Haoyan had a smile on his face as he began a round of mutual flattery. Brother Long is too modest. With Brother Long's aptitude, it's only a matter of time before he enters the Holy Land. Thinking about how Jun Haoyan had already reached the true energy stage at such a young age, and how he even had the protection of his elder sister, Long Ziyue, Lu Feng's tone carried a trace of jealousy. Haha, thank you for your kind words, Brother Lu. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan put on an extremely happy expression and said straightforwardly, Brother Lu and I hit it off at first sight, so we should drink to our heart's content. I wonder if Brother Lu is willing to do me the honor? With Brother Long's great hospitality, this Lu will naturally risk his life to accompany you. After knowing Jun Haoyan's identity and witnessing Jun Haoyan's talent, Lu Feng was almost certain that Jun Haoyan would enter the Langya Holy Land in the future. Moreover, under the care of Long Ziyue, Jun Haoyan's achievements in the Langya Holy Land would definitely not be low in the future. At this moment, Lu Feng was thinking about how to befriend Jun Haoyan. Upon hearing Jun Haoyan's suggestion, Lu Feng agreed almost without hesitation. Haha, come serve the best wine and delicacies. I want to drink to my heart's content with Brother Lu. Seeing that Lu Feng had agreed, Jun Haoyan was elated. Then he said apologetically to the aristocratic families, Everyone, I'm sorry. I've met a close friend today, so please forgive me for not having the time to entertain you. This banquet will continue on another day. Soaring dragon guards, see the guests out. After speaking, Jun Haoyan didn't give the others a chance to speak. He immediately ordered the soaring dragon guards to chase the guests out. This, Brother Long, there's no need to do this. Seeing this, Lu Feng felt that Jun Haoyan was making too much of a fuss. He felt a little apologetic and spoke up. Sigh, Brother Lu, there's no need to say so much. With such good wine and delicacies in front of us, how can we let irrelevant people spoil our mood? Jun Haoyan interrupted Lu Feng directly and said in an unquestionable tone, if these people spoil Brother Lu's mood to drink, then I'll be guilty. Since that's the case, we'll do as Brother Long says. Seeing that Jun Haoyan was determined, Lu Feng had no choice but to comply. In his heart, he also hoped that he could spend some time alone with Jun Haoyan. It would be more beneficial for him to be on good terms with Jun Haoyan. Everyone this way please. Jun Haoyan turned around and looked indifferently at the group of aristocratic family's disciples. The coercion from his body slowly spread, carrying a strong sense of warning. Feeling the intimidating coercion from Jun Haoyan's body, everyone's hearts tightened. Naturally, they had heard the conversation between Jun Haoyan and Lu Feng. They also understood why Jun Haoyan wanted them to leave. This was an opportunity. This thought appeared in the minds of all the aristocratic families. This was an opportunity to break free from Jun Haoyan's tyrannical rule. As long as they exposed Jun Haoyan's true identity to this disciple of the Holy Land, Jun Haoyan's life would definitely be in danger. Therefore, at this moment, in the face of Jun Haoyan's tyrannical expulsion, almost no one intended to leave. Young City Lord Jun, this old man requests to stay and pour wine for the two of you. Don't worry, this old man will definitely not say too much. Gu Feiyang even stood up directly and suggested to Jun Haoyan in a threatening tone. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan narrowed his eyes. A trace of coldness flashed in his eyes, but it soon turned into a trace of a smile. He said gently, since that's the case, then I'll have to trouble Uncle Gu. Everyone please leave. I'll invite everyone to a banquet another day to apologize to everyone. After saying this, Jun Haoyan spoke again to the group of aristocratic families. Haha, you're in such a hurry to chase the Lord away. Did you do something shameful? As soon as Jun Haoyan finished speaking, Feng Yi slowly stood up with a trace of mockery on his face. Judging from Jun Haoyan's concession to Gu Feiyang just now, he was sure that Jun Haoyan was very wary of this disciple of the Holy Land in front of him. Therefore, he couldn't help but stand up. Feng Yi, are you looking for death? Before Feng Yi could finish speaking, Jun Haoyan directly sent a message to him. His voice was extremely cold. Brother Long, do you need me to leave for a while? At this moment, Lu Feng naturally saw that the situation was not right. However, he really didn't want to get involved in Jun Haoyan's private affairs. Therefore, he immediately suggested to Jun Haoyan, my lord, I have something to say. Hearing Lu Feng's words, Feng Yi immediately panicked and said directly to Lu Feng, Feng Yi, get out of the city lord's mansion right now, and I'll pretend that this never happened. Jun Haoyan looked coldly at Feng Yi and said in an icy tone, haha, what? Are you afraid? If you don't want anyone to know, don't do it in the first place. Today, I will report all your crimes to this lord. Feng Yi looked mockingly at Jun Haoyan, then slowly approached Lu Feng. My lord, I'm telling you, this person is simply, you're courting death. Jun Haoyan's eyes flashed coldly. In the next moment, he directly activated the divine elephant overpowering force. Boom! In the next moment, a shockingly powerful palm print directly hit Feng Yi's abdomen. Feng Yi's body was directly sent flying like an arrow from a bow. Pfft! My lord! You! After falling to the ground, Feng Yi directly spat out a mouthful of thick blood. His eyes looked at Lu Feng in disbelief. He didn't understand why Lu Feng would attack him. However, before he could finish speaking, he breathed his last and died. If someone were to examine his body, they would discover that his limbs and bones had all been shattered. The scene just now happened in an instant, and no one was able to react in time. Why would Lu Feng suddenly attack Feng Yi, and why would he attack so ruthlessly? As a dog, you have to be loyal. Learn to listen to your master's words. After killing Feng Yi with a single palm strike, Lu Feng's expression didn't change at all. He still looked at Jun Haoyan with a smile. Such a disobedient dog should be killed. Brother Long, you won't blame me for overstepping my boundaries, right? Chapter 11. You're too kind. I'm more than happy that Brother Lu is helping me. At this moment Jun Haoyan finally reacted. He hurriedly restrained the power in his body and pretended to be relaxed. I'm just afraid that I'll dirty Brother Lu's golden hands. He had originally planned to kill Feng Yi by force. However, he did not expect Lu Feng to suddenly kill Feng Yi. This indeed caught him off guard. However, Jun Haoyan thought about it and understood Lu Feng's intention. He was now Long Ziyue's younger brother. Lu Feng was probably trying to curry favor with him. Killing Feng Yi was probably to do him a favor. Hearing Jun Haoyan's words, Lu Feng was instantly delighted. He smiled and said, "Hee, this person asked for it. I already said that we're going to drink to our heart's content. He's still chattering and ruining our mood. Don't worry, Brother Lu. I'll ask them to scram now." Hearing this, Jun Haoyan's tone became cold. He turned around and looked at the disciples of the aristocratic families who were still planning to leave. His expression became extremely cold. If you haven't left the city lord's mansion in 3 breaths' time, then you don't have to leave. The scene with Feng Yi just now had completely ignited Jun Haoyan's killing intent. If this group of people still did not know what was good for them, then they could not blame him for being merciless. Thud thud thud. As soon as Jun Haoyan finished speaking, Huang Sheng led the soaring dragon guards and approached the aristocratic families. He was ready to take action at any time. In fact, after witnessing Feng Yi's fate, the disciples of the aristocratic families had already lost their previous intentions. The geniuses from the sacred land were obviously not easy to get along with. They were just about to find an excuse to leave. Now that Jun Haoyan had given the order, they no longer hesitated and walked toward the city lord's mansion's main door. "Uncle Gu, where are you going? Didn't you say that you wanted to stay and pour wine?" At this moment, Jun Haoyan said coldly as he watched Gu Feiyang walk towards the door with the crowd. Right, look at me, I'm getting old and muddle-headed." Hearing this, Gu Feiyang's body stiffened. He forced a smile on his face and retreated dejectedly. Soon, all the disciples of the aristocratic families left, leaving only the soaring dragon guards, Jun Haoyan and the others. "Hee, since you two hit it off so well, then you two should get together when you're still young." At this moment, Jun Songlong walked over under Jun Haoyan's signal and said to the two of them with a smile, "Nephew Lu, I still have some matters to attend to, so please excuse me." Jun Songlong looked at Lu Feng gently, then patted Jun Haoyan's shoulder and said, "Bufan, take good care of him for me." "Father, don't worry. I will definitely make Brother Lu drink until he is drunk." Jun Haoyan nodded and said cautiously, "Governor Long, please take care." Lu Feng had always been humble towards Jun Songlong, so he did not dare to say anything and said respectfully, "Come, Brother Lu, let's drink and chat." After Jun Songlong left, Jun Haoyan pulled Lu Feng enthusiastically. After that, Jun Haoyan pulled Lu Feng to the table. Soon, a maid served them wine and delicacies. Gu Feiyang immediately took the wine pot from the maid's hand and poured wine for the two of them with a humble expression. "Brother Lu, please." Jun Haoyan raised his wine cup and drained it in one gulp. His face was filled with pride. Brother Long is heroic. Soon, the two of them exchanged wine cups, and the atmosphere gradually became lively. As far as I know, Langya Holy Land should be tens of thousands of miles away from Soaring Dragon City. I wonder why Brother Lu came to Soaring Dragon City from so far away. After drinking another cup, Jun Haoyan looked at Lu Feng and asked casually. Jun Haoyan was indeed curious. Why did Lu Feng come to Soaring Dragon City? Hearing this, Lu Feng was stunned for a moment. His face showed that he was unwilling to answer this question. If it is not convenient for Brother Lu to say, then forget it. Come, let's continue drinking. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan pretended to be relaxed and smiled. He then raised his wine cup and drank it in one gulp. "Hey, Brother Long, you are treating me as an outsider. There is nothing inconvenient to say." This time, Lu Feng instead felt somewhat apologetic. After muttering to himself for a moment, he slowly opened his mouth. Speaking of which, I want to ask Brother Long, is there an aristocratic family called Jun clan in Soaring Dragon City? Jun family? Jun Haoyan's eyes flashed with a peculiar light. He said with a somewhat surprised expression. Brother Lu came for Jun family? Jun family is one of the 4 great families of my Soaring Dragon City. After getting Jun Haoyan's confirmation, Lu Feng's face flashed with coldness. He asked again, then is there a genius called Jun Haoyan in Jun family? Jun Haoyan? Hearing this, Jun Haoyan's heart shook. This Lu Feng actually came for Jun Haoyan. Looking at Lu Feng's expression, he seemed to be an enemy of Jun Haoyan. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Perhaps I can develop this Lu Feng into an ally. Yes, there is indeed such a person. Jun Haoyan's heart was filled with thousands of thoughts. However, his expression remained unchanged as he affirmed. Then I am looking for Jun family. Lu Feng nodded. His eyes flashed with coldness. Brother Lu, do you want to deal with Jun family? Jun Haoyan looked at Lu Feng and bluntly asked. Yes, I came to Soaring Dragon City on the orders of a senior brother. The purpose is to eliminate Jun family. Eliminate Jun family? Jun Haoyan's eyes flashed with a dangerous expression. However, it quickly disappeared. Yes, this Jun family shouldn't have any relationship with Brother Long, Lu Feng said. Soon after, he seemed to have thought of something. He looked at Jun Haoyan and slowly asked. No, to be honest, this Jun family has always relied on their position as the head of the 4 great families of Soaring Dragon City. They don't even put my city lord mansion in their eyes. I have long wanted to make a move against them. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan's face revealed a smile. His words clearly showed his disgust for Jun family. Gu Feiyang, who was pouring wine, heard Jun Haoyan's words. The corner of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. He looked at Lu Feng with a strange expression. That's good. I will help Brother Long get rid of this big problem. Hearing Jun Haoyan's words, Lu Feng's face revealed a trace of happiness. He laughed heartily. Then I will thank Brother Lu first. Jun Haoyan heard this. He raised his wine cup and drank it in front of Lu Feng. Soon after, his tone changed and he slowly said, however, I would like to take the liberty to ask, who ordered Brother Lu to eliminate Jun family? Jun family is just a small family. How could they provoke the powerhouses of the Holy Land? This? Lu Feng's face revealed a trace of difficulty. It seemed that he was unwilling to reveal the origin of that person. Oh, look at me. I Long Bufan don't have the qualifications to know such a big secret. Come, Brother Lu, let's continue drinking. We won't leave until we are drunk. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan rolled his eyes. Soon after, a trace of self-ridicule appeared on his face, as he said with flagging interest. Alas, forget it, forget it. In any case, Brother Long is not an outsider. There is no harm in telling you. Lu Feng said somewhat helplessly. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan couldn't help but raise the corner of his mouth. This Lu Feng was really a quick person. Chapter 12. Actually, I have 2 goals for this trip. The first is to capture Jun Songlong, the head of the Jun family. The second is to kill Jun Haoyan. Lu Feng lowered his voice as he spoke to Jun Haoyan in an extremely secretive manner. Oh! Upon hearing this, Jun Haoyan stared deeply at Lu Feng and asked in surprise. Did the Jun family offend someone from the Langya sacred ground? That's right. Lu Feng nodded and continued speaking in a low voice. This matter involves the conflict between the factions of the disciples of the Langya sacred ground. Jun Songlong is related to the faction of one of the geniuses in the sacred ground. So a senior brother asked me to capture him and force that genius to side with him. As for Jun Haoyan, he offended that senior brother of mine. Only death awaits him. At the mention of Jun Haoyan, Lu Feng's tone suddenly turned cold. Recalling senior brother Qi's order, when he left the sacred ground, Lu Feng swore to himself that he would definitely get rid of Jun Haoyan. How dare he steal senior brother Qi's woman? He must be tired of living. Related to the faction of one of the geniuses? Could it be Jun Moyo? Jun Haoyan naturally did not know what Lu Feng was thinking. After hearing Lu Feng's words, his mind was filled with thoughts. The only person who could contact his father was the sister of this body, Jun Moyo, who was in the Langya sacred ground. As for Jun Outyin, how did he offend someone from the Langya sacred ground? Thinking that Lu Feng was here to look for Jun Outyin, Jun Haoyin's expression suddenly became gloating. As long as Jun Outyin was unlucky, he would be happy. Could it be a love rival? Thinking that Long Ziyue, the suspected female lead, was in the Langya sacred ground, Jun Haoyin suddenly had such a thought. In most cliché novels, the female lead was usually in high demand. Wherever she went, she would attract a wave of admiration from geniuses. At this time, the female lead would express that her heart already belonged to someone else, and at the same time, create a wave of enemies for the male lead. Could it be that the senior brother behind Lu Feng was Jun Outyin's rival in love? So he sent Lu Feng to kill Jun Outyin? That's not right. Since Jun Outyin had already entered Qingyan Holy Land, he wouldn't be able to find trouble in Soaring Dragon City. Could it be? Suddenly, Jun Haoyin had a flash of inspiration as he thought of a possibility. Based on his experience of reading thousands of fantasy novels, this lousy author probably wanted to add another melodramatic plot. As the saying goes, when one's parents offer sacrifices to the heavens, their powers are boundless. This was probably what this lousy author wanted to do. Why did he say that? According to the original plot, Jun Songlong should have died, Jun Haoyin should have escaped, and Jun Wuhui should have succeeded as the head of the Jun family. Now that Lu Feng had come to Soaring Dragon City to look for the Jun family, how could Jun Wuhui survive? This author is really a genius. Serves him right to be a flop. With Brother Lu's strength, he can destroy the Jun family with a flip of his hand. It's not worth mentioning. Jun Haoyin secretly complained in his heart, but a strange smile appeared on his face. He raised his wine glass to Lu Feng again. Yes, it's just a small family in the mortal world. It's indeed not worth mentioning. Lu Feng nodded in agreement. At the same time, he persuaded Jun Haoyin. With Brother Long's aptitude, you should enter the Holy Land as soon as possible to cultivate. Yes, Brother Lu is right. I'm preparing to join the Holy Land soon. Jun Haoyin nodded in agreement. The smile on his face became more and more strange. Come, Brother Lu, let's toast again. Congratulations on your rebirth soon. Okay. Lu Feng raised his wine glass and was about to drink it in one gulp. However, he felt that something was wrong. Rebirth? Lu Feng had a vague premonition in his heart. Just as he was about to ask, he saw Jun Haoyin directly hit him with his palm. Roar! The divine elephant overpowering force was activated to the extreme. Jun Haoyin attacked with all his strength. The two of them were originally close to each other, and Lu Feng was not prepared. So he was directly hit in the chest by Jun Haoyin's palm. Crack! The force of 500,000 Jin was terrifying. Even Lu Feng, an expert of true energy stage 4, was sent flying dozens of meters. His chest was also caved in by Jun Haoyin's palm. Pfft! After falling to the ground, Lu Feng spat out a mouthful of thick blood. Some of his internal organs could even be seen. Long Bufan, what is the meaning of this? Lu Feng's body trembled. His eyes were bloodshot, and a monstrous anger and killing intent surged from the bottom of his heart. Hee, what's wrong? Are you angry? Seeing this, Jun Haoyin's pitch-black eyes flashed with a hint of mockery. He chuckled and said, Since we drank together just now, I'll let you die in peace. Jun Haoyin narrowed his eyes, and a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Actually, I'm not Long Bufan. My surname is Jun. What? You're not Long Bufan. Hearing this, Lu Feng's pupil shrank. He was greatly shocked. Your surname is Jun? You're from the Jun family. Are you Jun Outyin? No, this is the city lord's mansion. How could you be here? Suddenly, Lu Feng thought of something and said angrily, Who are you? Why are you so cruel? I'm a disciple of the Langya Holy Land. You'd better consider the consequences of killing me. Hee, the city lord's mansion. I've already killed everyone in the city lord's mansion, Jun Haoyin said casually. I'm in charge of the city lord's mansion now. What? Hearing this, Lu Feng was shocked again. His face was ferocious as he said sternly, You're finished. Do you know who's behind the city lord's mansion? You deserve to die. You don't have to worry about that. Alright, I've said what I wanted to say. Now let me send Brother Lu on his way. Jun Haoyan said as he circulated the divine elephant overpowering force to the maximum. The shadow of an immemorial mammoth floated behind him. Roar! The immemorial mammoth roared and a boundless force of suppression swept towards Lu Feng. Humph! Jun Haoyan, aren't you a little too arrogant? Lu Feng's face darkened when he felt the pressure. Although he was severely injured, Lu Feng was confident that he could deal with Jun Haoyan with his cultivation of true energy stage 4. Just now, Jun Haoyan had only launched a sneak attack. Arrogant? Jun Haoyan chuckled. His words were full of confidence. He narrowed his eyes and looked coldly at Lu Feng. You overestimate your own strength. Before he finished speaking, Jun Haoyan's figure disappeared and appeared in front of Lu Feng in the next moment. He rushed towards Lu Feng with a boundless force of suppression. How is this possible? Your strength. When Jun Haoyan arrived with a monstrous force of suppression, Lu Feng felt as if a mountain was pressing down on him. He was shocked. Puffed. Lu Feng spat out another mouthful of blood, accompanied by minced flesh. Jun Haoyan was merciless. A cold smile appeared on his face as he imprinted his palm onto Lu Feng's dantian. You destroyed my dantian. You're vicious. Chapter 13. Lu Feng's face was contorted with malevolence and hatred. He stared at Jun Haoyan with bloodshot eyes. You piece of trash, you actually destroyed my dantian. I'm going to tear you into pieces. After painstakingly cultivating for more than 10 years, Lu Feng had never thought that he would be crippled in a single day. He was originally a genius of the Holy Land, but now he had become a good-for-nothing. How could he accept such a difference? Brother Lu, you don't have to be like this. Seeing Lu Feng's unwilling expression, Jun Haoyan sighed faintly and said matter-of-factly, As a tool, your fate has always been bleak. I'm just helping you get rid of it in advance. Actually, if he hadn't transmigrated, this body of his would be the same as Lu Feng's. They would both be small characters that only appeared briefly in the author's pen. Helping me get rid of it. Then shouldn't I thank you properly? Although Lu Feng didn't understand the meaning behind Jun Haoyan's words, he still said with a face full of hatred, You should indeed thank me, but I don't think you'll have the chance. Looking at Lu Feng, Jun Haoyan's pitch-black eyes reflected a cold light that was impossible to see through. Gu Feiyang, kill him. Hearing this, Gu Feiyang, who was already stunned by Jun Haoyan, immediately quivered. He looked at Jun Haoyan in astonishment. Young Master Jun, you want me to kill him? That's right. Jun Haoyan nodded indifferently. No, I can't kill him. Gu Feiyang looked at Lu Feng, whose dantian had been destroyed, and immediately shook his head and refused. The person in front of him was from the Langya Holy Land. If he killed him, and the Langya Holy Land investigated in the future, then his Gu family would be finished. Today, either you kill him, or I kill both of you. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan pursed his lips slightly. In an instant, his originally gentle face was slowly filled with a sense of coldness, and his eyes gradually surged with traces of coldness. It's up to you. This, young Master Jun Yu. Hearing this, Gu Feiyang looked at Jun Haoyan with some fear. However, when he saw the coldness radiating from Jun Haoyan's body, he didn't dare to say anything. As the head of the Gu family, Gu Feiyang naturally knew why Jun Haoyan wanted him to personally kill Lu Feng. It was just to shut his mouth, so that today's matter could not be spread out. Thinking up to this point, Gu Feiyang felt a wave of regret. Why did he suggest to stay? With Jun Haoyan's ruthlessness, if he refused his request, he would never be able to walk out of the city lord's mansion. The silence lasted for a while, and the air seemed to have frozen. Finally, Gu Feiyang took a deep breath and said in a hoarse voice, Fine, I'll kill. Gu Feiyang almost roared these words. Then with bloodshot eyes, he pulled out the long sword at his waist and mercilessly stabbed towards Lu Feng. Pooh! The long sword was incomparably sharp. Lu Feng's dantian had been destroyed, and he had lost all his strength. The long sword directly pierced through him. Ugh! Dazzling blood slowly flowed out from the corner of Lu Feng's mouth. Lu Feng's eyes were filled with hatred. He stared fixedly at Jun Haotian and said word by word, "You with the surname Jun, just you wait. Senior brother Qi will avenge me." After saying this, the vitality in Lu Feng's body quickly drained away, and he slowly fell to the ground. "Senior brother Qi, huh?" Jun Haotian grinned and looked at Lu Feng's corpse. A bloodthirsty light flashed in his eyes. "I'll wait." In the next moment, two golden flames suddenly appeared in Jun Haotian's eyes. Then, Lu Feng's corpse mysteriously combusted and quickly turned into ashes. "Brother Lu, rest in peace." Jun Haotian picked up a pot of wine and slowly poured it as he muttered to himself, "Young Master Jun, can I leave now?" Seeing this strange scene, the corner of Gu Feiyang's eyes twitched again. He then asked carefully, "Yes, you can leave." Jun Haotian casually threw away the wine pot in his hand and said indifferently. Hearing this, Gu Feiyang was overjoyed. He could finally regain his freedom. If he continued to stay with Jun Haotian, he felt that he would be driven crazy. Tap, tap, tap. Just as Gu Feiyang was about to leave, a series of hurried footsteps came from the door. Then Huang Sheng, who was dressed in martial attire and covered in blood, walked in with a majestic gait. "Young Governor, all 130 members of the Feng family have been annihilated." Huang Sheng entered the governor's mansion and knelt down on one knee as soon as he saw Jun Haotian. Then, he said something that shocked Gu Feiyang. The Feng family was annihilated. Gu Feiyang felt his heartbeat accelerate. Could it be because of what happened with Feng Yi? With Jun Haotian's ruthlessness, Feng Yi provoked him in public. How could he have a good ending? Just because of Feng Yi, Jun Haotian actually sent people to annihilate the entire Feng family. This was simply too ruthless. Gu Feiyang felt his body turn cold. He secretly glanced at Jun Haotian. Seeing that Jun Haotian was not looking at him, he quickened his steps and prepared to sneak out. Very good. You've done well. Work a little harder and annihilate the Gu family while you're at it." However, when he reached the door, Jun Haotian's calm words made him freeze on the spot, not daring to take another step. "No, young Master Jun. I was wrong, young Master Jun." The next moment, Gu Feiyang crawled and rolled to his knees in front of Jun Haotian at lightning speed. He begged, "I beg of you, please have mercy." Bang, bang, bang. Gu Feiyang frantically kowtowed to Jun Haotian. He did not care that his forehead was bleeding profusely from the kowtow. "Gu Feiyang, if you don't want the Gu clan to follow in the footsteps of the Feng clan, then there's only one way." Jun Haotian's eyes narrowed slightly as a trace of a smile slowly appeared in his pitch-black eyes. "What way? Young Master Jun, please tell me. I'll definitely do it." Hearing this, Gu Feiyang said without hesitation, as if he was grasping at straws, "After you go back, immediately announce that the Gu family is a subsidiary family of the Jun family, and swear that they will forever serve the Jun family." Jun Haotian's handsome face held a hint of a smile, as he looked at Gu Feiyang calmly. No one could tell whether he was happy or angry. Other than that, "You must take up the position of an elder in the Jun family." Jun Haotian's voice was extremely loud and resonant. It was deafening, and there was a sharpness to it that pierced straight into Gu Feiyang's heart. Jun Haotian's words immediately put Gu Feiyang in a difficult position. If he did that, the Gu family would forever be under someone else's control and lose their freedom. "Commander Huang, go ahead." Seeing Gu Feiyang hesitate, Jun Haotian sneered and said coldly, Don't. I agree, young Master Jun. I agree to your request." Hearing this, Gu Feiyang panicked and immediately agreed without hesitation. Chapter 14. Very good. Uncle Gu, you won't regret today's decision. Seeing that Gu Feiyang had agreed, Jun Haotian revealed a rare smile. After the Gu family submits to the Jun family, I want to gather the talented disciples of the Gu family and the Jun family and nurture them to provide the Jun family with an endless supply of strength. What do you think, Elder Gu? After that, Jun Haotian looked at Gu Feiyang with a burning gaze. From his words, he had already treated Gu Feiyang as an elder of the Jun family. "I'll follow your arrangements, young master." Hearing that, Gu Feiyang smiled bitterly and said helplessly, Jun Haotian's move was like taking the firewood from under the cauldron. As long as all the geniuses of the Gu family were absorbed into the Jun family, the Gu family would not be able to produce any strong cultivators and would never be able to rise again. They would be subservient to the Jun family for generations. Commander Huang, go to the He family again and repeat what I just said to him. If anyone disobeys, kill them without mercy. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan nodded his head in satisfaction. He then instructed Huang Sheng. Yes, young master. Huang Sheng replied and left the city lord's mansion. You go too, Jun Haoyan said to Gu Feiyang. If the He family dares to resist, you will lead the Gu family to help Commander Huang. Yes, young master. Gu Feiyang replied and left slowly. Ding! The check-in time has been refreshed. Would the host like to check in? As soon as Huang Sheng and Gu Feiyang left, Jun Haoyan heard a system notification in his head. Check-in. Jun Haoyan was delighted and replied immediately. Congratulations to the host for check-in successfully. You have received the Emperor Yin Pill scripture. The Emperor Yin Pill scripture. Hearing that, Jun Haoyan's eyes flashed with excitement. It was the pill scripture. And it was the pill scripture left behind by the Emperor Yin. Ding! Would the host like to accept the Emperor Yin Pill scripture? At that moment, the system reminded him again. Accept, Jun Haoyan said without hesitation. As soon as Jun Haoyan finished speaking, an abstruse and mysterious memory rushed into Jun Haoyan's mind. It was the content of the Emperor Yin Pill scripture. Jun Haoyan felt a little dizzy as countless pieces of information flowed into his mind. The path of medicine concocting lies in. An ancient, vicissitude voice resounded in his mind. Jun Haoyan's thin body trembled slightly. Countless torrents of information cut open Jun Haoyan's head like a sharp blade and poured into the depths of his mind. After an unknown period of time, Jun Haoyan's body felt weak, and his legs started to tremble. Only then did the dizziness slowly dissipate. With his eyes closed, Jun Haoyan focused his mind and immersed himself in the torrent of information. The light in the room swayed slowly, reflecting on Jun Haoyan's pale and handsome face. Jun Haoyan slowly opened his eyes. Some cold sweat fell from his eyelashes, and Jun Haoyan's mouth was filled with joy. Recalling the additional memories in his mind, Jun Haoyan's chest rose and fell rapidly. His breathing became heavier and heavier. Obviously, he was very excited at the moment. The Emperor Yin Pill scripture recorded the Emperor Yan's understanding of the path of medicine concocting and his life experiences. It even recorded the fire control technique that he was most proud of. Among them was the Emperor Yan's best move, Buddha's fiery lotus. What an abstruse and mysterious skill! Recalling the fire control technique in his mind, Jun Haoyan was eager to try it out. He already had the Gold Emperor incinerating heaven's flame, a powerful heavenly flame. But he did not have the exquisite fire control technique. The Emperor Yan's fire control technique came at the right time. Flame wings. With a thought, Jun Haoyan activated the Gold Emperor incinerating heaven's flame in his body. Poof! In the next moment, golden flames were released from Jun Haoyan's back and turned into a pair of flaming wings. Looking excitedly at the wings formed by the Gold Emperor incinerating heaven's flame, Jun Haoyan controlled them and flapped them slightly. A strong buoyancy appeared below him, and Jun Haoyan slowly floated up. Although I already have the ability to fly at a low altitude, these flame wings can increase my flying speed by 3 times. Recalling the description of the flame wings in the Emperor Yin Pill scripture, Jun Haoyan was delighted. It's a pity that I only have one heavenly flame and can't use the Buddha's fiery lotus. Thinking of the Buddha's fiery lotus, Jun Haoyan activated the Gold Emperor incinerating heaven's flame and turned it into a flaming lotus in his palm. Jun Haoyan was a little disappointed. He couldn't use the Buddha's fiery lotus yet. The Buddha's fiery lotus required at least 2 heavenly flames to be used. The more heavenly flames there were, the more powerful it would be. There should be flames similar to the heavenly flames in this world. I have to get some if I have the chance. Thinking of the power of the Buddha's fiery lotus, Jun Haoyan made up his mind. Knock, knock, knock. Jun Haoyan was still immersed in his excitement when a knock on the door woke him up. Haoyan, I have something to ask of you. Jun Songlong's voice slowly rang out. Father, what's the matter? Hearing that, Jun Haoyan quickly went to open the door. Mo, you sent a message. She wants you to go to the Langia sacred ground. Jun Songlong looked at Jun Haoyan with excitement in his voice. Jun Moyo. Hearing that, Jun Haoyan was stunned. Then, he came to his senses and slowly recalled the memories of Jun Moyo. More than 10 years ago, when Jun Haoyan was only a few years old, Jun Moyo was taken away by the experts of the Langia sacred ground. Although she still kept in touch with Jun Songlong, it wasn't very frequent. After so many years, Jun Haoyan's impression of this sister was very vague. She wants me to go to the Langia sacred ground? Why? Jun Haoyan looked at Jun Songlong and was a little puzzled. Of course, she wants you to join the Langia sacred ground. Jun Songlong's voice was filled with excitement. Then he took out a quaint token from his arms. This is the true disciple token. It is the identity token of a true disciple of the Langia sacred ground. With this token, you can join the Langia sacred ground directly. This token was purple in color. Abstruse and mysterious patterns were engraved on it. There were also 2 dazzling golden words Langia engraved on it. On the front of this token, there were 2 big words True Disciple engraved on it. Haoyan, do you know what this token represents? Holding the token tightly in his hand, Jun Songlong's eyes were burning with passion. A true disciple of the Langia sacred ground. She is someone that even His Majesty has to kneel before. A true disciple? Wasn't she a core disciple some time ago? Hearing that, Jun Haoyan was shocked. How monstrous is her talent to be able to advance so quickly? Haoyan, you will set off for the Langia sacred ground in 2 days. Go find Mou and join the Langia sacred ground directly. Looking at Jun Haoyan, Jun Songlong said in a serious tone. This decision was unanimously made by him and the elders of the Jun family. Although the Jun family had just swallowed Soaring Dragon City, they were afraid that there would be strong people coming to attack them. They needed a legendary true energy realm powerhouse like Jun Haoyan to hold the fort. However, with Jun Haoyan's talent, staying in this small Soaring Dragon City was undoubtedly a waste of time. Only a place like the Langia sacred ground was a stage for peerless geniuses like Jun Haoyan. Chapter 15. Join Langia sacred ground? In fact, even without Jun Moyo's message, Jun Haoyan had planned to leave Soaring Dragon City for the sacred ground. Soaring Dragon City was too small after all. Only by joining the sacred ground, where geniuses gathered, could he improve his strength quickly. Besides, Long Ziyue and Jun Haoyan had already become disciples of the sacred ground. Their cultivation would definitely improve rapidly. If he did not join the sacred ground, how could he fight with them in the future? Originally, Jun Haoyan had not decided which sacred ground to join. Now that the Langia sacred ground had Jun Moyo as a true disciple, Jun Haoyan would definitely choose to join the Langia sacred ground. Okay, I will leave for Langia sacred ground in 10 days. Jun Haoyan pondered for a moment and agreed. But during this time, Father, you have to help me prepare these things. I have great use for them. Jun Haoyan took out a list and handed it to Jun Songlong. Black blood ginseng 100 spirit leaf, turtle-shaped grass. Haoyan, why do you need so many herbs? Hearing this, Jun Songlong took the list and looked at it carefully. After a while he was puzzled. Of course, to refine pills. Jun Haoyan did not hide it and said bluntly. He was refining pills for the Jun family. Even if he wanted to hide it, he could not. By the way, I also need a pill cauldron. Father, I want the best pill cauldron in the city. With the Jun family's current strength in Soaring Dragon City, it was enough to meet Jun Haoyan's requirements. Refining pills? When did you learn to refine pills? Hearing this, Jun Songlong looked at Jun Haoyan suspiciously. He could not believe it. After all, being an alchemist was a very rare profession. This has something to do with my awakened spiritual body. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan talked about spiritual body again. In the martial god continent, extraordinary bodies had all kinds of strange effects. Among them, there was a spiritual body called Elixir Spiritual Body that helped in refining pills. Sigh, I can't see through you anymore. However, Jun Songlong was not so easily fooled. He looked at Jun Haoyan and did not ask further. He just sighed and said, You should have your own opportunities. I won't get to the bottom of it. Father, Jun Haoyan looked at Jun Songlong, and his lips moved as if he wanted to say something. It doesn't matter. Now that my wings have hardened, it's time to fly. Jun Songlong smiled and patted Jun Haoyan's shoulder. He said proudly, the Qilin of the Jun family is no weaker than anyone else. With that, Jun Songlong left with Jun Haoyan's list in his hand. Jun Haoyan looked at Jun Songlong's back with a complicated expression. A moment later, Jun Haoyan turned around and entered his room to cultivate in seclusion again. During this seclusion, Jun Haoyan did not cultivate the divine elephant overpowering force. Instead, he carefully studied the alchemy techniques in his mind. For the safety of the Jun family, before he left, he had to improve the overall strength of the Jun family. At the very least, he had to get a few true energy realm martial artists to guard the Jun family. The countless alchemy formulas in his mind were undoubtedly the best way to improve the strength of the Jun family. In a cold valley in the Qingyan holy ground, on top of a giant peak, a waterfall that looked like the Milky Way fell from above. The loud rumbling sound caused the entire valley to shake slightly. The force of the waterfall was extremely terrifying. At this moment in the waterfall, on a smooth mountain rock, a tall figure sat upright. He allowed the waterfall to hit his body, but his body did not move at all. At this moment, a man stepped on a gentle breeze and tore through the water flow. He gently landed on a mountain rock in the distance. When he saw the young man who was training, some hesitation appeared on his face. Soon after, he quietly stood by the side, as if he wanted to wait for the young man to finish his training. What's the matter? Didn't I tell you not to disturb my cultivation if there's nothing important? A cold voice rang out in the midst of the rumbling. Although the voice was low, it carried a powerful penetrating power. The man immediately bowed and said respectfully, Senior Brother Aotian, I've made some inquiries. An ancient ruin is about to appear in the east. Is that the opportunity you're looking for? Whoosh, whoosh. An incomparably vigorous aura swept out from the young man's body, and the waterfall that was crashing down from above was actually dispersed by this aura. The young man's tightly shut eyes suddenly opened, and they were as cold as a knife. His tone became incomparably fierce. The birth of an ancient relic? Is this news accurate? It's absolutely true. The man was very certain. He looked at the young man with a fierce look in his eyes and said softly, This news is very secretive. Since you asked me to keep an eye on the east, I sent many people there. That's why I got the news so quickly. The young man was startled. Then he said with relief, With Master's cultivation, since he said that I have an opportunity in the east, then it's probably true. With Senior Brother's strength and luck, you'll definitely reap the greatest harvest from this ancient relic. The man looked at the young man with eyes full of fanaticism. Although Senior Brother Aotian came from a small place called Soaring Dragon City, his martial talent was top-notch. After entering the Holy Land for half a month, he successfully won the first place in the outer court competition and was promoted to an inner court disciple. After becoming an inner court disciple, Senior Brother Aotian challenged many inner court disciples one after another and showed his invincible fighting strength and comprehension. Finally, the name of Senior Brother Aotian spread to the ears of an elder of the Holy Land, and he personally accepted him as a disciple. So far, Senior Brother Aotian was promoted to a core disciple again. As long as he successfully broke through to Yuan Dan realm, he would be able to enjoy the treatment of a true disciple. I want to see what kind of opportunity is waiting for me in this ancient relic. The young man's tall and straight body was like an unsheathed sword. He raised his head with a hint of a smile on his face. In his pitch-black eyes, there was a vague sense of sharpness that could break through the clouds. Since Master is so attentive, this opportunity should be enough to greatly increase my strength. The young man muttered to himself. His words were full of confidence. He narrowed his eyes and coldly looked at the distant mountain. I hope this ancient relic won't disappoint me too much. It's best if it can help me break through to Yuan Dan realm in one fell swoop. Chapter 16. Great Yin Empire. Imperial capital. Deep in the palace. Snow Feather Pavilion. In a magnificent palace, a young girl in the prime of her youth was sitting cross-legged on a soft couch, made of golden silk with her eyes closed. The girl was dressed in white, and her black hair danced in the wind. Her skin was as white as jade, and she had an innate noble and elegant temperament. Although the girl was young and looked like she was only 16 years old, her aura was shocking. The peak of the Qi condensation realm. At the age of 16, she was already at the peak of the Qi condensation realm. Even the disciples of the sacred grounds were not inferior to her. Nalan Shui. The girl's name was Nalan Shui, and she was the princess of the Great Yin Empire. She was once praised by the current emperor as the #1 genius of Great Yin. When Nalan Shui was 14 years old, the Jade Lake Sacred Ground, which was also one of the 7 sacred grounds, had extended an olive branch to her. They said that as long as Nalan Shui broke through to the true energy realm, she could directly enter the Jade Lake Sacred Ground and become a core disciple. When the news spread, the entire nation was shocked. With Nalan Shui's talent, it was only a matter of time before she broke through to the true energy realm. It could be said that as long as Nalan Shui did not die, she was almost guaranteed to become a core disciple of the Jade Lake Sacred Ground. At this moment, in the Snow Feather Pavilion, Nalan Shui's eyes were closed. Waves of extremely dense energy surged out of her body. It was like a trickle at first, but now it was like a vast ocean. Bang! 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 After an unknown period of time, a dull sound suddenly sounded from Nalan Shui's body. Nalan Shui's aura also skyrocketed, becoming denser and denser. Bang! After the last loud and powerful dull sound, Nalan Shui slowly opened her eyes. Her eyes, which were as deep as the night sky, shone brightly, and her aura was long and dense. Half a step to the true energy realm. Although she had successfully broken through, Nalan Shui's delicate face was still a little dissatisfied. Looks like I won't be able to break through in a short time. Since her rebirth, she had broken through 3 realms in just half a month. To others this was simply unbelievable. But to Nalan Shui, this was just a recultivation. It's time to go out and search for opportunities. Nalan Shui frowned and muttered to herself. Breaking through to the true energy boundary is imperative. There's only 1 year left until the 3-year agreement. I must enter the Jade Lake Sacred Ground as soon as possible. A moment later, Nalan Shui made her decision. After pondering for a while, she had a goal. I remember that the ruins in the east appeared around this time. Moreover, in his previous life, Jun Outyin obtained a heaven-defying opportunity in these ruins. From then on, he soared to the sky and broke through to the Yuandan stage. When Jun Outyin's name was mentioned, the girl's bright eyes flashed with a cold killing intent. Jun Outyin, I will make you suffer a crushing defeat in this life. Soaring Dragon City. City Lord's Mansion. At this moment in Jun Haoyin's room, a table was piled with medicinal herbs. Jun Songlong's action was very fast. Coupled with the current Jun family's power in Soaring Dragon City, all the medicinal herbs on the list were collected in just 3 days. After classifying all the medicinal herbs according to the pill formula, Jun Haoyin clapped his hands and smiled bitterly. Looks like I'll have to work hard for a few days. Sigh, I'll just treat it as practice. It's a good time to practice the pill refining technique in my mind. With a sigh, Jun Haoyin's mind moved, and a golden flame slowly emerged from his palm. It was the Gold Emperor's Heaven Incinerating Flame. The Heavenly Flame and the Flame Emperor's pill scripture were a perfect match. With a flick of his finger, the Gold Emperor's Heaven Incinerating Flame was flicked into the cauldron by Jun Haoyin. In the next moment, the golden flame immediately turned into a raging flame, rising and burning in the cauldron. Looking at the rising golden flame, Jun Haoyin slowly calmed his mind and recalled the pill refining technique in the Pill Emperor's Heart Sutra. Moments later, Jun Haoyin slowly opened his eyes. Soon after, his fair fingers flashed across the surface of the table, as if he was picking flowers and leaves. Medicinal ingredients drew an arc in the air as they were thrown into the pill cauldron. In an instant, they turned into powder. In the incomparably quiet room, the golden flame jumped like a spirit. The sparks were reflected on the wall, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. As the medicinal herbs were slowly thrown into the cauldron by Jun Haoyan, they turned into different kinds of medicinal liquid. Under Jun Haoyan's control, they slowly began to fuse. An hour later, Jun Haoyan's eyes were fixed on the pill in the cauldron that had already begun to take shape. With a thought, he began to form various hand seals according to the Pill Emperor's Heart Sutra. In the next moment, the Gold Emperor's heaven-incinerating flame instantly disappeared. Jun Haoyan hurriedly walked over. However, just as he approached the cauldron, Jun Haoyan's face slightly changed. Soon after, a slight muffled sound rang out, and a pile of black ashes slid out from the bottom of the cauldron. I failed. Looking at the black ashes, Jun Haoyan frowned and his face turned ugly. Could it be that I was too impatient? I was too eager to succeed, and ended up making a fool of myself? Jun Haoyan was not a person who gave up easily. After a moment he concluded the reason for his failure. Thinking of this, Jun Haoyan slowly closed his eyes. In his mind, he kept recalling the contents of the Flame Emperor's Heart Sutra. His mind also slowly relaxed and became calm. After an unknown period of time, Jun Haoyan opened his eyes and flicked out another wisp of Gold Emperor's heaven-incinerating flame in the direction of the cauldron. His heart was empty, and his pitch-black eyes flickered with golden flames. Jun Haoyan's fair and slender fingers moved quickly. The medicinal herbs on the table were once again thrown into the cauldron. Time passed quickly. After half an hour, Jun Haoyan's eyes flashed with a trace of light. His hands once again formed exquisite hand seals. In the next moment, the Gold Emperor's heaven-incinerating flame in the cauldron was quickly extinguished. Jun Haoyan walked into the cauldron and took a look. Inside the cauldron, there was a light green round elixir. A strong elixir fragrance filled the air. Phew, I finally succeeded. Wiping away the cold sweat on his forehead, Jun Haoyan let out a long sigh of relief. Reaching his hand into the cauldron, Jun Haoyan slowly took out the elixir. The corner of his mouth was a little happy. This elixir was called the barrier-breaking elixir. It could help a martial artist break through from the peak of the Qi condensation realm to the true energy realm. With this barrier-breaking elixir, Jun Haoyan was confident that the Jun family would have a few more true energy realm martial artists to hold the fort. Jun Haoyan put the barrier-breaking elixir into a jade bottle and sat cross-legged on the bed at the side to rest for half an hour. Then, he stood up again and went to the table to continue refining. For the next few days, Jun Haoyan did not step out of the door. He was holed up in his room, refining elixirs like crazy. Soon, all the medicinal herbs in the room were refined by Jun Haoyan. There were more than 10 bottles of elixirs on the table. A faint medicinal fragrance faintly permeated the air, making one feel refreshed. It's time to come out of seclusion. Chapter 17. Haoyan, you're out of seclusion? Jun Songlong looked at Jun Haoyan in front of him and said in surprise. These days, Jun Haoyan locked himself in the room and did not step out of the door. Naturally, Jun Songlong was worried. Yes. Jun Haoyan smiled and took out a jade bottle and handed it to Jun Songlong. Father, quickly take this bottleneck-breaking pill. I'll protect you. Bottleneck-breaking pill? This is the pill that you refine these days. Hearing this, Jun Songlong took the jade bottle and said in surprise. He thought that Jun Haoyan was just playing around. He did not expect that he was really refining pills. Yes, Jun Haoyan said with a smile. Although this bottleneck-breaking pill is not of a high grade, it has a miraculous effect on martial artists below the true energy realm. It can forcibly raise a martial artist below the true energy realm by 1 level. What? As soon as Jun Haoyan said this, Jun Songlong, who was not taking it seriously, was shocked. Haoyan, do you think this? Jun Songlong opened the jade bottle and looked at the crystal-clear Longan-sized pill inside. He did not believe that this pill could help him break through. Father, if you don't believe me, why don't you give it a try? Jun Haoyan knew that it was useless to explain before he took the pill, so he immediately suggested. Okay. Hearing this, Jun Songlong said straightforwardly. Although he had some doubts about Jun Haoyan's alchemy skills, he absolutely believed that Jun Haoyan would not harm him. Then, he took the jade bottle and entered the room. Jun Haoyan waited outside to protect him. About half a day later, a strong aura suddenly emerged from the room. Ha ha ha, I finally broke through to the true energy realm. Jun Songlong's excited and presumptuous laughter came from the room. The next day, Soaring Dragon City, the governor's mansion, the meeting hall. At this moment, the meeting hall was full of senior members of the Jun family. Early in the morning, Jun Haoyan issued a notice to gather all the higher-ups of the Jun family. Elders, I have gathered everyone here today because I have two things to say. Jun Haoyan and Jun Haoyan sat at the head of the table. Jun Haoyan looked at everyone in the hall and suddenly stood up. Seeing that Jun Haoyan had stood up to speak, everyone's attention turned to him. It had to be said that Jun Haoyan's influence in the Jun family was unparalleled. Even the head of the Jun family, Jun Songlong, could not compare. The first thing is that after today, I will be heading to the Langya Holy Land. Jun Haoyan looked at the backbone of the Jun family and said in a serious tone, From now on, the future of the Jun family will depend on you. Don't worry, young master. This old man will protect the Jun family even if it costs my life. Don't worry, young master. We will do our best to protect the Jun family. As soon as Jun Haoyan said that, the higher-ups of the Jun family scrambled to guarantee him. However, at a place where no one was paying attention, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan had a strange look on their faces. Now that they had submitted to the Jun family, they were the elders of the Jun family. When they heard Jun Haoyan's words, their eyes flashed with joy. I'm relieved to hear that. Seeing that, Jun Haoyan nodded in satisfaction. Then, he looked at Jun Songlong and said mischievously, As for the second thing, before that, let's congratulate our head of the family for breaking through to the true energy realm. What? The head of the family has broken through. When did the head of the family break through to the true energy realm? As soon as Jun Haoyan said that, everyone was shocked. Everyone looked at Jun Songlong in disbelief. Haoyan is right. I have indeed broken through to the true energy realm. Seeing that everyone was looking at him, Jun Songlong's face showed a trace of excitement. Then he slowly stood up and a strong pressure came from his body. Boom! It's really the true energy realm. The city lord has really broken through to the true energy realm. Our Jun family has another true energy realm cultivator. Now, our Jun family has nothing to worry about. Feeling that aura, the elders of the Jun family, who were at the 9th tier of the Qi condensation realm, were shocked, and then overjoyed. After Jun Haoyan left, the Jun family lacked an expert to hold the fort. Now that Jun Songlong had broken through to the true energy realm, the Jun family's desperate situation was solved. As for Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan, who were in the corner, their faces turned ugly. They did not expect that after Jun Haoyan left, another true energy realm cultivator would appear in the Jun family. Do you all want to know how my father broke through to the true energy realm? As soon as Jun Haoyan spoke, the noise in the hall immediately quieted down. Everyone looked at Jun Haoyan curiously. Could it be that Jun Songlong had some secret to breaking through to the true energy realm? This is a barrier-breaking pill. It can help a martial artist at the peak of the Qi condensation realm to break through to the true energy realm. Jun Haoyan did not keep them in suspense. He took out the barrier-breaking pill and explained. From now on, as long as a member of the Jun family reaches the 9th tier of the Qi condensation realm, you can come to the family head to receive a barrier-breaking pill. In addition, those who have contributed to the Jun family will be rewarded with a barrier-breaking pill in advance. Jun Haoyan smiled and spoke with a hint of temptation. He explained all the effects of the barrier-breaking pill in one go. Of course, if you feel that your talent is limited and cannot break through, you can also take the barrier-breaking pill in advance. Each person can only take one barrier-breaking pill. Taking more will have no effect. Following Jun Haoyan's explanation, the upper echelons of the Jun family looked at the jade bottle in Jun Haoyan's hand with a burning gaze. Barrier-breaking pill. Below the true energy realm, one could break through to any realm. This was a miracle medicine. In the mortal world, even medicinal pills were rare, let alone pills like the barrier-breaking pill that could forcefully raise one's cultivation. Everyone looked at Jun Haoyan's barrier-breaking pill and had the urge to snatch it. Kiki, don't worry. I have plenty of barrier-breaking pills. Feeling everyone's desire, Jun Haoyan smiled faintly and took out all the barrier-breaking pills. Next, I will give a barrier-breaking pill to each of those who have reached the high levels of the qi condensation realm. Jun Haoyan smiled and said to the 3 elders of the Jun family, head elder, second elder, third elder, you guys go first. The 3 elders of the Jun family were the 3 most senior elders of the Jun family. They had worked hard and contributed greatly. The head elder was at the 9th tier of the qi condensation realm, while the second and third elders were at the peak of the 8th tier. Many thanks to the young master. The 3 elders of the Jun family took the barrier-breaking pills from Jun Haoyan's hands, their old faces filled with excitement. They had been stuck at this level for more than 10 years. Now that they could see the hope of breaking through, how could they not be excited? Elders, this is what you deserve. Jun Haoyan smiled and said to the people below, Commander Huang, come forward. Huang Sheng, who had been looking at the 3 elders of the Jun family with envy, was suddenly excited. Thank you, young Master Jun. He ran forward quickly and took the barrier-breaking pill from Jun Haoyan's hands, his face full of gratitude. At this moment, he felt that his efforts had not been in vain. You've worked hard all this time. Looking at Huang Sheng, Jun Haoyan's lips curled into a strange smile. His gaze turned to Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan, who were looking at him from the corner. He said slowly, Elder Gu, Elder He, please come forward as well. Chapter 18. Hearing Jun Haoyan's words, Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan were dumbfounded. Both of them had a share of the bottleneck-breaking pill. Thank you, young master. After regaining their senses, the 2 of them immediately rushed to Jun Haoyan and thanked him sincerely. They stared at the bottleneck-breaking pill in Jun Haoyan's hand with a burning gaze. Although both of you have just entered the Jun family, I won't be biased. I hope that both of you will serve the Jun family well in the future. Jun Haoyan looked at the 2 of them and said with a gentle expression, Of course. Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan quickly agreed. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan smiled strangely and gave them the bottleneck-breaking pill. Seeing this, Jun Songlong frowned, but did not say anything in the end. Alright, that's all for today. In the end, Jun Haoyan gave all the remaining bottleneck-breaking pills to Jun Songlong and said to everyone, From now on, everyone should work hard in cultivation and contribute to the family. As long as your cultivation reaches the high level of qi condensation, you can apply for a bottleneck-breaking pill from the family head. Hearing this, although the rest of the people who did not get a bottleneck-breaking pill were disappointed, at least there was a glimmer of hope. Jun Haoyan, why did you give Gu Feiyang and He Changyuan the bottleneck-breaking pill just now? You should know that the 2 of them. After leaving the meeting hall, Jun Songlong finally could not help but ask Jun Haoyan. The 2 of them are disloyal, aren't they? Jun Haoyan smiled meaningfully and explained to Jun Songlong, Father, do you think I will really trust the 2 of them? Oh, then you are? Hearing this, Jun Songlong looked at Jun Haoyan in confusion. Their bottleneck-breaking pills are naturally different from the others. I added something inside. Jun Haoyan smiled playfully. As long as they take the bottleneck-breaking pill, their lives will forever be in my hands. Father, this is the antidote. Jun Haoyan took out a medicine bottle from his bosom and said coldly, If they dare to be disloyal, you can punish them as you wish. I knew you wouldn't be so kind. Seeing the bottle in Jun Haoyan's hand, Jun Songlong couldn't help but laugh out loud. The next morning, all the higher-ups of the Jun family gathered in the square of the city lord's office once again. At this moment, their attention was all gathered together, and they were looking in the same direction. In the center of the square, Jun Haoyan's white robes fluttered in the wind, making him look like a celestial being. Haoyan, don't worry and go. The Jun family has me, so there's no need to worry. Jun Songlong patted Jun Haoyan's shoulder. Although he said that, there was a strong reluctance in his tone. Young master, Don't worry and go roam the world. Soaring Dragon City won't be able to hold a true dragon like you. But with us old men looking after the Jun family, nothing will happen to them. The three elders of the Jun family looked at Jun Haoyan with eyes full of gratification. It was the Jun family's fortune to have a Qilin like him. Everyone take care of yourselves. Jun Haoyan smiled when he heard everyone's comforting words. He didn't know when he would be able to return to Soaring Dragon City. He looked into the void and saw a huge demonic bird suspended in the sky. This demonic bird was the one that Lu Feng rode on that day. This demonic bird seemed to be specially tamed and used as a mount. Its bestial nature had long disappeared. After Lu Feng's death, Jun Haoyan tamed it effortlessly. The journey to Langya Holy Land was long. With this demonic bird as a mount, the journey time would be greatly shortened. I'm going. In the next moment, Jun Haoyan's figure directly soared into the sky and swept toward the demonic bird in the sky. Then, Jun Haoyan's figure stepped on the back of the demonic bird with a calm expression. Riding the demonic bird, Jun Haoyan went all the way east in front of everyone's eyes. His departure would definitely stir up a storm. This demonic bird was worthy of being called a professional mount. After Jun Haoyan determined the direction, it moved forward with all its might. During this process, Jun Haoyan didn't even have to spend any energy on it. Sure enough, things from the Holy Land are extraordinary. Looking at the demonic bird under his feet, Jun Haoyan praised. At this speed, I estimate that I can reach Langya Holy Land in 3 or 4 days. Jun Haoyan pondered for a moment. He didn't intend to waste any time. He immediately sat down cross-legged and began to cultivate. After a cultivator entered the true energy realm, it didn't matter if they didn't eat or drink for 10 to 15 days. Jun Haoyan also had a spiritual body. He could automatically absorb the energy of heaven and earth to nourish his physical body. In this way, Jun Haoyan kept cultivating until 2 days later. Ding! The system's check-in time has been refreshed. Host, do you wish to check in? At this moment, the system's prompt sounded. Hearing the system's prompt, Jun Haoyan was shocked and immediately woke up from his cultivation. Check-in. Then Jun Haoyan said without hesitation. Ding! Congratulations to host for checking in successfully. Received the Dutian Demon God Technique. Dutian Demon God Technique. Ding! Host, do you wish to accept the inheritance? Accept. The moment Jun Haoyan finished speaking, strange blood-colored runes suddenly appeared in his mind. Although Jun Haoyan couldn't see the appearance of the blood-colored runes, he could understand the profound meaning of the abstruse and mysterious runes. As the blood-colored runes continued to appear, runes flashed on Jun Haoyan's body. Every blood-colored rune seemed to have its own thoughts. They jumped around Jun Haoyan's body flexibly. Jun Haoyan's body was like a demonic cloud. Comprehending the blood-colored runes seemed to consume a lot of soul power. In less than a moment, Jun Haoyan was sweating profusely and his face was pale. Jun Haoyan forcefully endured the pain as he sat on the demonic bird with great difficulty. Both of his eyes were gently shut as he gradually digested the blood-colored symbol that had appeared out of nowhere in his mind. Approximately 10 minutes later, Jun Haoyan finally slowly opened his eyes, while a satisfied expression appeared on his handsome face. The next moment, Jun Haoyan closed his eyes again, and blood-colored runes appeared behind him. As the blood-colored runes continued to appear, Jun Haoyan gradually turned into a sea of blood behind him. Above the sea of blood, 12 terrifying phantoms slowly appeared. These 12 blood-colored phantoms exuded different auras. Each of them was like a demon god that had descended. These were the 12 demon god phantoms. The Dutian Demon God Technique condensed the demon god phantoms. When Jun Haoyan used the Dutian Demon God Technique, the power of 12 demon gods would be added to his body. With a casual strike, he could shatter mountains and rivers. With a thought, Jun Haoyan tried his best to activate the Dutian Demon God Technique. Roar! The next moment, the sea of blood behind Jun Haoyan boiled. The 12 demon gods let out a long roar. Rays of blood-colored light were emitted from their bodies and attached to Jun Haoyan's body. With the enhancement of the demon god powers, Jun Haoyan's demonic aura surged. He was like a real demon god that had descended. Screech. As Jun Haoyan's demonic aura radiated, the demon bird that Jun Haoyan was sitting on suddenly let out a low cry. It trembled all over. Apparently, it was frightened by Jun Haoyan's demonic aura. Jun Haoyan had no choice but to stop cultivating the Dutian demon god technique and withdraw his demonic aura. After pacifying the demon bird, he continued to head east. Chapter 19. After pacifying the demonic bird, Jun Haoyan did not continue cultivating. He took a rare look at the beautiful mountains and rivers below, relaxing properly. From the day he set off from Soaring Dragon City, 3 days had already passed. In these 3 days, Jun Haoyan already crossed a distance of several tens of thousands of miles. After a moment, an ancient giant city was faintly discernible in Jun Haoyan's field of vision. At the top of the giant city, there was a several hundred feet tall rock statue stacked on top of each other, appearing very strange. Looks like this is Devilping City. Seeing this giant city, Jun Haoyan's expression shook, and then he muttered to himself for a while. The next moment, he urged the demonic bird he was mounted on to descend towards the giant city. This Devilping City was his destination. Devilping City seemed to have an extremely ferocious golden-winged great rock that fell here in ancient times. That was why it had this name. Devilping City's location was very special. It was located at the junction of the Great Yin Empire, Great Li Empire, and Black Tortoise Empire. These 3 great empires. Furthermore, Devilping City was also the closest ancient city to the Langya Holy Land. In this place, martial artists were numerous, powerhouses running amok. It was far from what a small border city like Soaring Dragon City could compare to. After a moment, Jun Haoyan rode the demonic bird and slowly descended outside Devilping City. Boom! After landing, Jun Haoyan decisively executed the Dutian Fiend God technique. With the power of 12 fiend gods augmenting himself, Jun Haoyan directly blasted a punch at the demonic bird. Facing the monstrous fiendish might on Jun Haoyan's body, the demonic bird was frightened until it trembled and did not dare to move at all. Following that, it was directly punched by Jun Haoyan on the body. Screech! The demonic bird emitted an extremely mournful cry from its mouth. Following that, it was directly killed by Jun Haoyan with one punch. Reincarnate into a good body in your next life. Jun Haoyan's expression was complicated as he sighed faintly, then flicked his finger. A wisp of gold emperor incinerating heaven flame slowly landed on the demonic bird's corpse. After several breaths, the demonic bird's corpse turned to ashes. East of Devilping City was a stretch of Devil Sea. There were countless fiends wreaking havoc in the sea. Demonic birds and the like did not dare to cross at all. In addition, this demonic bird came from the Langya sacred ground and was related to Lufeng. If an outsider like him were to ride this demonic bird into the Langya sacred ground, it would inevitably arouse suspicion. Therefore, Jun Haoyan had no choice but to mercilessly kill this demon bird. Retracting the fiend god aura on his body, Jun Haoyan slowly stepped into Fiendrock City. Sir, please have a private room upstairs. Devilping City's largest restaurant, Golden Jade Pavilion. Jun Haoyan, dressed in white, was calmly following a waiter to a private room on the 2nd floor. Before he left the Jun family, Jun Songlong gave him thousands of vitality stones for his expenses. Primal stones contained a large amount of pure primal qi that could be directly absorbed and used by cultivators. It was the common currency of the martial god continent. This kind of primordial stone was extremely expensive. Even a wealthy family like the Jun family only had a total annual income of over 1,000 primordial stones. These few hundred primordial stones were considered a huge sum of money for the descendants of aristocratic families. Sir, please have some tea. The waiter brought a pot of green tea to Jun Haoyan's table and enthusiastically poured a cup for Jun Haoyan. Jun Haoyan picked up the teacup and gently took a sip with a calm expression. At this moment, a cold woman dressed in white like Jun Haoyan slowly stepped onto the 2nd floor. Her skin was as fair as jade, and her black hair fluttered in the wind. The white-clothed woman had a noble temperament and was eye-catching. It was Princess Snow, Nalan Shui, who had rushed here from the Great Yin imperial capital. It's her. As soon as Nailan Shui stepped onto the second floor, Jun Haoyan's mind surged with memories. Nailan Shui, Princess Snow of the Great Yin Empire. Years ago, it was this woman who arrogantly came to the Jun family and broke off the engagement with Jun Haoyan in a domineering manner. The scene from back then appeared in Jun Haoyan's mind. Nailan Shui came to the Jun family with 3 true energy realm cultivators and shamelessly threatened to break off the engagement with Jun Haoyan. Jun Haoyan tore the marriage contract to shreds on the spot and broke off the engagement. Then he roared to the sky, 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west, 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west, don't bully the young for being poor. In the end, he proudly made a 3-year promise with Nailan Shui. This extremely familiar scene was still fresh in Jun Haoyan's mind. When he saw this scene in the novel, he almost vomited. As if sensing Jun Haoyan's gaze, Nailan Shui looked at Jun Haoyan with her beautiful eyes. Looking at Jun Haoyan, Nailan Shui frowned slightly. She seemed to have seen this person somewhere before. Could it be that I've seen this person in my previous life? After staring at Jun Haoyan for a while, Nailan Shui really couldn't remember and slowly looked away. Back then, when the Jun family broke off the engagement, the entire Jun family was a small fry in Nailan Shui's eyes. Naturally, she didn't think much of Jun Haoyan, so she naturally couldn't remember him now. What is Nailan Shui doing here? Looking at Nailan Shui's perfect figure, Jun Haoyan was a little confused. Demonic Pung City was adjacent to the Langya sacred ground. Nailan Shui was about to enter the Jade Lake sacred ground, so she should be heading west. Why would she come here? Could it be that she has a purpose? Thinking of this, Jun Haoyan subconsciously separated a bit of his divine sense and probed Nailan Shui. After merging with this body's divine sense, Jun Haoyan's divine sense was already stronger than other cultivators of the same level. In addition, the Gold Emperor's heaven-incinerating flame had the effect of tempering the divine sense. Jun Haoyan believed that with the current strength of his divine sense, even a mid-stage true energy realm cultivator wouldn't be able to detect it. But to Jun Haoyan's surprise, as soon as his trace of spiritual energy got close to Nailan Shui, she immediately discovered it. Nailan Shui snorted coldly and instantly extinguished that wisp of spiritual energy. Then, she looked around coldly, trying to find the source of that trace of spiritual energy. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan immediately looked at the fragrant tea in his hand and pretended to be deep in thought. That's strange. That person's strength is at least at the advanced true energy realm. Nailan Shui was extremely vigilant. If she hadn't been reborn, and her divine sense was much stronger than ordinary people, she wouldn't have been able to detect that divine sense's probing. I hope that person was just casually probing. Otherwise, Nailan Shui frowned and felt a little uneasy. This Nailan Shui is not simple. At this moment, Jun Haoyan looked at Nailan Shui and didn't dare to underestimate her. She had such a strong divine sense at such a young age. This Nailan Shui was indeed the #1 genius of the Great Yin Empire. Perhaps I should have a good talk with this Princess Shui. Thinking of Jun Haoyan, Jun Haoyan's lips curled into a smile. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. There was a 3-year agreement between Nailan Shui and Jun Haoyan. Perhaps he could use this opportunity to make a fuss about it. If necessary, he could even help Nailan Shui deal with Jun Haoyan together. Chapter 20. Isn't that the Princess Nailan Shui? Perhaps it was because Nailan Shui's aura was too attractive that she attracted the attention of the people around her, including some martial artists from the Great Yin Empire. Nailan Shui was a household name in the Great Yin Empire. When the martial artists from the Great Yin Empire saw Nailan Shui's appearance, they exclaimed in surprise. As this voice rang out, everyone on the second floor looked at Nailan Shui with shock in their eyes. Nailan Shui, isn't that the princess of the Great Yin Empire? I heard that she broke through to the 7th tier of the Qi condensation realm at the age of 16. She's known as the #1 genius of the Great Yin Empire. Moreover, the The Jade Lake sacred ground has already extended an olive branch to her. As long as she breaks through to the true energy realm, an elder from the Jade Lake sacred ground will personally take her as a disciple and promote her to a core disciple. Very quickly, all of Nailan Shue's information and past were dug out. Everyone looked at Nailan Shue with eyes full of admiration and envy. A mere 7th tier of the Qi condensation realm dares to call herself the #1 genius of the Great Yin Empire? What a joke! At this time, 3 men walked up from the first floor. When they heard the discussion, they sneered with disdain. Qingyan sacred ground. When some people heard the words of the 3 men, they were about to explode in anger. However, when they saw the clothes of the 3 men, their eyes narrowed. The 3 of them were disciples of the Qingyan sacred ground. The 3 of them seemed to be inner sect disciples of the Qingyan sacred ground. Their cultivation levels were all at the true energy realm. Seeing the 3 of them come up, no one dared to say anything. The 3 of them looked smug. After which, they turned to look at Nailan Shuer, who was already sitting in a corner on the 2nd floor. Their lips curled into a cold smile. The 3 of them looked at each other. Their eyes flashed with malice as they walked towards Nailan Shuer with a smile. You're the so-called #1 genius of the Great Yin Empire, Nailan Shuer. One of the Qingyan sacred ground disciples walked up to Nailan Shuer and slapped the table, mocking her. That's right, I'm Nailan Shuer. Nailan Shuer naturally felt the malice from the 3 of them. She frowned and suppressed the anger in her heart as she said, she was cold and arrogant. Bah! One of the Azure Cloud Holy Land's disciples looked at Nailan Shuer mockingly. He said disdainfully, you think you're worthy of being called the greatest genius in Great Yin? I'm afraid you're not even fit to carry Senior Brother Outyan's shoes. That's right. Senior Brother Outyan is already a core disciple in his teens. His future is limitless. Who do you think you are, Nailan Shuer? How dare you call yourself Great Yan's #1 genius? These 3 disciples of the Green Cloud Holy Ground seemed to be Jun Outyan's loyal fans. Facing such a peerless beauty like Nailan Shuer, they did not hold back at all. Are you talking about Jun Outyan? He's already a core disciple of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground? Hearing the 3 people's insults, Nailan Shuer's face turned green. But more than that, she was shocked. She clearly remembered that Jun Outyan was only an inner disciple of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground at this time in her previous life. How did he advance so quickly? Could it be that his rebirth had changed the course of events? How could this be? Nailan Shuer suddenly felt a little flustered. She felt that the direction of the situation was no longer within her control. What? Are you afraid? Seeing the strange expression on Nailan Shuer's face, the disciples of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground thought that she was afraid. With a mocking expression, they said to Nailan Shuer, when Senior Brother Outyan was at the lowest point of his life, you forcefully broke off the engagement. Now that he's a core disciple of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground, I'm afraid you're no longer worthy of him. With Senior Brother Outyan's current strength and status, I'm afraid you, the Princess of Great Yin, are only fit to be his maid. The 3 disciples of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground looked at Nailan Shuer with a mocking expression. That's right. Senior Brother Outyan is in Phin Pung City. Why don't we bring this princess over and serve Senior Brother Outyan well? One of the disciples of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground immediately suggested. How dare you? Upon hearing that, Nailan Shuer was furious. Her petite face was flushed red with anger. Hee, why don't you try and see if we dare? Upon hearing that, the 3 disciples of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground sneered. Then, the 3 of them looked around the 2nd floor and said arrogantly, the Green Cloud Sacred Ground has its own business. Unrelated people get lost. After saying that, the 3 of them released their true energy stage aura. Crack. When the 3 of them released their aura, the chairs on the 2nd floor immediately shattered. When the crowd felt the aura, their faces turned pale. Some of them did not dare to cause any trouble, and immediately left the 2nd floor. A few moments later, everyone on the 2nd floor disappeared quickly. Hee, now there's no one to disturb us. When the 3 disciples of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground saw this, they laughed smugly. However, When their gazes landed on the white-clothed figure in the corner who remained unmoving, their expressions immediately froze. In the corner, Jun Haoyan did not seem to know what was happening around him. He lowered his head and drank his tea calmly. It was worth noting that the chairs in front of Jun Haoyan were still intact. It was as though the aura from before did not affect him at all. The green cloud sacred ground has its own business. Why aren't you getting lost? One of the men walked over and shouted at Jun Haoyan. Usually, as long as one mentioned the name of a sacred ground, it would be enough to scare off many people. However, Jun Haoyan was obviously not one of them. As though he did not hear the man's voice, Jun Haoyan continued to sip his tea leisurely. You're courting death. When one of the disciples of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground saw this, a murderous intent flashed across his face. Since Lin Fan had ignored them, it made them feel embarrassed. With the strength of the true energy realm, the man immediately threw out a sharp palm print towards Jun Haoyan. As the palm print approached, Jun Haoyan continued to drink his tea without a trace of panic. In the next moment, the shadow of an immemorial mammoth suddenly appeared above Jun Haoyan's head. Roar! Then a terrifying scene appeared. Before the sharp palm print could touch Jun Haoyan, it was shattered by the shadow of the immemorial mammoth. With Jun Haoyan as the center, a strong aura of suppression quickly swept out in all directions. On the second floor of the inn, all the chairs were turned into ashes. Puff! 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 As the suppression came, the three disciples of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground could not withstand it. They immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. What a terrifying aura! This person's strength is at least at the middle stage of the true energy realm. The three of them were terrified and their faces turned pale. Let's go and report to Senior Brother Haoyan. In the next moment, the three of them split into three different directions. They jumped down from the second floor and ran for their lives. Jun Haoyan's strength was not what the few of them could deal with. Chapter 21. Allowing the three of them to escape, Jun Haoyan did not kill them this time. After defeating the three inner disciples of the Qingyan sacred ground effortlessly, Jun Haoyan acted as if nothing had happened. He poured himself a cup of tea and took a sip. At this moment, Nailin Shui stared at Jun Haoyan with her beautiful eyes. At such a young age, he already had the strength of the true energy realm. Which family did he come from? Thinking of the familiar feeling she felt when she saw Jun Haoyan, Nailin Shui pondered for a moment and walked to Jun Haoyan's table. She said, "Thank you for saving me just now. May I know your name?" They disturbed me while I was enjoying my tea. They were courting death. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan did not even lift his head. He squinted his eyes and took a sip from the teacup. The meaning behind his words was obvious. He did not help Nailin Shui, but only because the three of them had disturbed his tea. Hearing the coldness in Jun Haoyan's words, Nailin Shui's face stiffened, and she felt a little depressed. Ever since she entered the demonic Peng City, she seemed to have been unlucky. The men she met did not have the slightest bit of protective feelings for her. In her previous life, she clearly remembered that after she joined the Jade Lake Sacred Ground, countless geniuses fell for her. Waiter, the bill. Jun Haoyan naturally did not know what Nailin Shui was thinking. After finishing his tea, he put down a vitality stone and got up to leave. His attitude was as if he did not want to chat with Nailin Shui. This scene made Nailin Shui's face turn even uglier. In fact, Jun Haoyan really did not want to stay here for long. The demonic Peng City had been around for a long time. To be able to survive for so many years at the border between the three empires and the Langya sacred ground, there must be experts guarding the city. Just now there was such a big commotion in the restaurant. Maybe there were some experts watching this place. Jun Haoyan didn't want his secret to be exposed, so he left in a hurry. Moreover, the three Green Cloud Sacred Grounds disciples had also mentioned that Jun Haoyan had come to the demonic Peng City. Before he understood Jun Haoyan's true strength, he could not easily meet Jun Haoyan. After all, he was the son of Providence of this plane, so he had to be given due respect. Jun Haoyan would not become arrogant just because his strength had skyrocketed. He had to be sure that Jun Haoyan was weaker than him before he would fight Jun Haoyan head-on. Before that, it would be better to hide in the dark and scheme in secret. However, the day Jun Haoyan confirmed Jun Haoyan's strength would be the day Jun Haoyan died. Although it was unintentional, it is a fact that you have saved my life. Would you allow me to offer you a cup of tea to express my gratitude? It was rare to meet a genius like Jun Haoyan, so Nailan Shui naturally wanted to befriend him. She immediately spoke again. No need, Jun Haoyan said indifferently. I've already had my fill just now. What a weirdo. Seeing that Jun Haoyan had rejected her again, Nailan Shui could not help but complain in her heart. Suddenly, she thought of something and smiled at Jun Haoyan. Master, I have a great opportunity here that can help you break through to the Yuan Dan realm quickly. Not interested. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan stopped in his tracks. Before Nailan Shui could be happy, Jun Haoyan rejected her again. Hearing Jun Haoyan's reply, Nailan Shui was stunned. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. What kind of monster was this person? Hearing that there was an opportunity to break through to the Yuan Dan realm, his reaction was so calm. I'll see you outside the demonic Peng City in 2 hours. Just as Nailan Shui was looking at Jun Haoyan's back, she suddenly heard Jun Haoyan's voice in her head. Interesting. This person is quite cautious. Nailan Shui looked at Jun Haoyan's resolute back and chuckled. There were too many people here, so it was not a good place to talk. 2 hours later, in a small forest not far from the demonic Peng City, Jun Haoyan was sitting cross-legged on a huge green rock, slowly circulating the strength of the hell-crushing divine elephant in his body. The energy of heaven and earth was constantly flowing into his body. You've been watching for so long. Are you still not going to come out? Suddenly, Jun Haoyan opened his eyes and looked in a certain direction as he spoke softly. When did you find me? After a while, Nailan Shui slowly walked out of the shadows, her face gloomy. Half an hour ago. Jun Haoyan slowly closed his eyes and said calmly. What? You found me as soon as I arrived? Nailan Shui was shocked when she heard this. Then she looked at Jun Haoyan angrily. You knew I was here. Why did you only call me out now? Thinking about how she had been standing in the dark for half an hour and thought no one had found her, Nailan Shui was secretly delighted. Her face couldn't help but turn red. She had embarrassed herself. At the same time, she was secretly surprised at the sensitivity of Jun Haoyan's divine soul. There's still some time before the appointed time. I thought you would like to stay here. Jun Haoyan said. Okay, let's get to the point. Where is the opportunity you said could help me break through to the Yuan Dan stage? Hearing this, Nailan Shui's expression became serious. She said slowly. Do you know that in demonic Peng City, an ancient golden-winged great rock fell? The opportunity I'm talking about is the place where this great rock was buried. The place where the golden-winged great rock was buried. Jun Haoyan frowned when he heard this. He knew very little about this legend. That's right. Do you know that the golden-winged great rock was an expert in the immortal realm? Don't you want to go to the place where such an expert was buried? Seeing that Jun Haoyan finally showed some interest, Nailan Shui was delighted and continued. An expert in the immortal realm. Jun Haoyan was shocked when he heard this. An expert in the immortal realm could be said to be immortal and could live for at least 10,000 years. This kind of peerless expert was also called the eternal giant. Every expert in the immortal realm stood at the top of the world. They were peerless geniuses who could defeat their peers. Even in the 7 holy lands, only the Holy Lord had such a cultivation level. The golden-winged great rock was the place where an expert in the immortal realm was buried. It had to be said that Jun Haoyan was tempted. Any item left behind by such an expert could help him break through quickly. Of course, other than these, there was another reason that Jun Haoyan had to go. Jun Haoyan, the son of fortune, had also come to demonic Peng City. Since Jun Haoyan had become a core disciple of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground, why did he come to demonic Peng City instead of acting like a tyrant in the Green Cloud Sacred Ground? This in itself made people feel strange. With Jun Haoyan's intuition as a bookworm, he felt that Jun Haoyan was most likely here for the golden-winged great rock's burial place. When the protagonist went out, he would definitely have a fortuitous encounter. Now that Jun Haoyan the son of fortune, had appeared in demonic Peng City, and the burial place of the golden-winged great rock had also appeared. Jun Haoyan could not help but suspect the relationship between the two. Jun Haoyan, since you're here, I have to get a share of this. Chapter 22. Why did you tell me about such a heaven-defying opportunity? Jun Haoyan looked at Nailan Shui, suspiciously and asked. Didn't I tell you? It's to repay you for saving my life. Nailan Shui was taken aback. Her eyes turned and looked at Jun Haoyan with sincerity. It's because your cultivation level is too low. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan's lips curled into a smile as he mocked. How could he not know what Nailan Shui was thinking? There was definitely danger in the golden-winged rock's relic. Nailan Shui invited him so enthusiastically because of his strength. However, she doesn't trust me at all. Isn't she afraid that I'll snatch her rewards from the relic, just because I'm stronger than her? Do I look like a good person to her? Thinking of this, Jun Haoyan couldn't help secretly sizing himself up. As expected, being handsome was a natural advantage. It's fine if you don't believe me. Having her intentions exposed by Jun Haoyan, Nailan Shui pursed her lips and a strange look appeared on her face. Nailan Shui's strength was at half-step to true energy realm. Compared to her peers, her cultivation level was already at the top. However, they were going to enter the relic left behind by the ancient golden-winged rock. Nailan Shui remembered that the relic was in the middle of the Demon Sea. With her current strength, it would be difficult for her to go deep into the Demon Sea. Moreover, Nailan Shui knew that Jun Haoyan would enter the relic and obtain a heaven-defying opportunity. Apart from obtaining the item, Nailan Shui's main goal was to stop Jun Haoyan from obtaining the opportunity. She even wanted to snatch it from him. Initially, Nailan Shui was confident. With the secret skills that she had learned in her previous life, and her powerful spiritual energy, she could defeat Jun Haoyan, even if she was only at half-step to true energy realm. However, after hearing from the 3 inner disciples that Jun Haoyan had become a core disciple, Nailan Shui lost all hope. To become a core disciple, one's strength had to be at level 3 true energy realm. Therefore, Jun Haoyan was at least at the 3rd level of the true energy realm. Nailan Shui couldn't understand. In her previous life, Juneo Tian was only at the 1st stage of the true energy stage. So why was he? After knowing Jun Haoyan's strength, Nailan Shui no longer had the confidence she had before. After seeing Jun Haoyan's strength, Nailan Shui instantly had an idea. She planned to invite Jun Haoyan to go to the ruins with her. One more person meant one more power. Besides, Jun Haoyan had just helped her out. So Nailan Shui had a good impression of him. When will the relic appear? Jun Haoyan asked Nailan Shui. In his heart, he had already decided to enter the ruins with Nailan Shui. It didn't matter whether he could get the opportunity or not. The most important thing was to stop Jun Haoyan from getting it. Moreover, if he was lucky enough to obtain some treasures in the ruins, that would be even better. He had destroyed the Long family, so Long Ziyue would definitely find a way to kill him. Therefore, before entering the Langya sacred ground, Jun Haoyan wouldn't let go of any chance to increase his strength. Tomorrow morning, hearing this, Nailan Shui's face lit up. Since Jun Haoyan asked this, it meant that he agreed. Alright then, let's meet here tomorrow. After saying that, Jun Haoyan ignored Nailan Shui and left the little forest. This person is really strange. Have I really seen this person in my previous life? Seeing Jun Haoyan leave without hesitation, Nailan Shui pursed her lips and said suspiciously, "Forget it, who cares about him? This person's strength is extraordinary. After entering the ruins, he will definitely be able to help me. It would be best if he could help me restrain Jun Haoyan." Oh no, I don't think I asked for his name. Nailan Shui suddenly slapped her little head and said regretfully, "Forget it, I must ask him tomorrow." Without further ado, Nailan Shui quickly left the little forest. Now that Jun Haoyan knew her whereabouts, she couldn't let her guard down. You guys said that you saw Nailan Shui today and were injured by the man beside her? At this moment, in a luxurious hall in demonic Peng City, Jun Outyin wore a purple robe and looked at the three people who were kneeling in front of him with a gloomy face. Murderous intent was emitted from his body, and his true vitality was flowing in the air. The three inner disciples of the Qingyan sacred ground who were kneeling in front of him were breathless. Senior brother Outyin, we saw it with our own eyes. The three people who were kneeling in front of Jun Outyin were the ones who were injured by Jun Outyin at the Golden Jade Pavilion. That be *tch Nailan Shui, or was behaving intimately with a man at the Golden Jade Pavilion. When we saw it, we were so angry that we wanted to teach them a lesson. However, we didn't expect that man to be an expert, and severely injured the three of us with just one blow. Senior brother Outyin, you have to avenge us. Upon hearing their words, Jun Outyin's eyes turned cold and his body emitted a ruthless aura. So, it was because of this man that Nailan Shui, couldn't wait to break off the engagement? I'd like to see how long the two of you can be so carefree. Nailan Shui, I've said that I'll return the humiliation of breaking off the engagement tenfold. A black jar suddenly appeared in Jun Outyin's hand as he said coldly, I'm going to cripple the person you love and trample on his dignity in front of everyone. Let's see if you can still be as arrogant as you were back then. As Jun Outyin's murderous intent intensified, the black jar emitted a black and white light. It was very strange. The three of you can leave now. When we come out from the ancient ruins tomorrow, I'll avenge you. Jun Outyin said coldly. At this moment to him, the ancient ruins that were about to appear were the most important. Yes, senior brother Outyin. After receiving Jun Outyin's promise, the three of them were overjoyed and quickly left. After the three of them left, Jun Outyin held the black jar in his hand and began to cultivate. Wisps of black and white chi slowly emerged from the black jar and enveloped Jun Outyin. Chapter 23. The next day, early in the morning, Jun Outyin met up with Nailan Shui, and they headed towards the ruins. Hey, why are you wearing a mask? On the way, Nailan Shui, looked at the bronze mask on Jun Outyin's face and asked curiously, I might meet someone I hate later. I don't want him to see me. Jun Outyin explained indifferently, moreover, after we enter the ruins and obtain the treasures, do you intend to let others keep thinking about you? You're right. Do you have any extra masks? Hearing this, Nailan Shui's eyes lit up and she looked at Jun Outyin expectantly. No. Jun Outyin rejected her decisively. What a joke. Jun Outyin wanted Nailan Shui, to attract his attention. Humph. Hearing this, Nailan Shui, pursed her lips in disappointment. According to Nailan Shui, the ruins would appear in the depths of the demon sea. In the demon sea, there were countless demons and sea beasts. It would be impossible to go there by water. Therefore, if they wanted to enter the ruins, they would have to fly there. Soon, Jun Outyin and Nailan Shui, arrived at the edge of the demon sea, the demon abyss. The demon abyss was a steep cliff that stood on the edge of the demon sea like a pillar supporting the heavens. At this moment, there were already many people gathered here. Obviously, they were also planning to enter the ruins. Of course, those who came here were basically all in the true energy realm. At this moment, many figures flew across the sky above the demon abyss like rainbows, setting off a series of sharp whistling sounds. At the same time, a low and violent roar sounded from the demon sea below. It was deafening. Jun Outyin looked up at the horizon in the distance. In the depths of the demon sea, he could feel a faint pressure spreading out. Looks like Nailan Shui was right. The ruins really do exist. However, I wonder if the palace was left behind by the so-called golden-winged rock. In the next moment, Jun Outyin stepped into the air, and a pair of flame wings condensed on his back. The slender wings flickered with a golden light. In the blink of an eye, Jun Outyin's body flew out like an afterimage. In an instant he was thousands of meters away. With such terrifying speed, even a martial artist at the peak of the true element boundary would not be able to match it. Where did this person come from? Looking at the flaming wings behind Jun Outyin, Nailan Shui's eyes were filled with amazement. This kind of technique was really rare. Following that, Nailan Shui slowly took out a palm-sized boat. After injecting her yuan qi into it, the palm-sized boat rapidly expanded until it could accommodate one person. This palm-sized boat was actually an origin item. Moreover, it was an extremely rare flying-type origin item. This was also the reason why Nalan Shui, who was only half-step Jin Yuan, dared to set her sights on the ruins. As expected of the princess of the Great Yin Empire, she even took out a flying origin artifact. Jun Haoyan looked at Nalan Shui, out of the corner of his eye, and was slightly shocked. Seeing that Nalan Shui, did not need him, Jun Haoyan also sped up and flew towards the ruins with all his might. Just like that, Jun Haoyan did not wait for Nalan Shui, and continued to fly towards the ruins. After a while, Jun Haoyan's expression changed. He seemed to have sensed something, and looked into the distance. In the vast and boundless demon sea, there seemed to be traces of space being torn apart. In the middle of the boundless sea, Jun Haoyan vaguely saw the outline of a huge palace. It gave off a majestic feeling. Even though he was so far away, Jun Haoyan was still shocked when he saw this scene. This palace seemed to have crossed the void and appeared directly between heaven and earth. Could this palace be where the ruins are located? Jun Haoyan looked at the outline of this huge palace with a scorching look in his eyes. With a thought, the flame wings on his back flapped rapidly. Jun Haoyan's body turned into an afterimage and appeared 1,000 meters away in an instant. After a few breaths, Jun Haoyan had directly crossed a few dozen miles. At this moment, the demon sea was completely presented in Jun Haoyan's field of vision. Countless huge ferocious beast phantoms flashed across the demon sea and set off a deafening roar. This caused Jun Haoyan's expression to turn serious. He could feel that there were countless ancient ferocious beasts hibernating in this vast and boundless sea. However, for some unknown reason, these ancient ferocious beasts were unable to jump out of the sea. It was as if there was an invisible force suppressing them within. I'm afraid it's not that easy to enter the ruins. There's a high chance that we won't be able to leave. Jun Haoyan exhaled softly as he felt the aura fluctuations spreading from below. The aura below was extremely vigorous, and it was not inferior to that of a middle-stage true energy realm existence. This place is simply a beast lair. If these ferocious beasts come out in full force, I'm afraid that even a Yuan Dan realm cultivator would die here. Jun Haoyan looked at the surging demon sea below with a vigilant expression. Then, his entire body suddenly rose and rushed towards the palace. Looking from afar, the palace seemed to be just a foot away. However, this palace was hundreds of thousands of feet away from Jun Haoyan. Even with Jun Haoyan's current speed, it took him nearly 10 minutes to reach the palace. A sense of shock arose spontaneously. This was a huge ancient bronze palace. Patches of dark green copper rust crawled all over it like green vines. It looked simple yet grand, giving off an extremely desolate feeling. What shocked Jun Haoyan was the scale of this ancient bronze palace. At a glance, he could not see the end of it. It was simply comparable to a huge city. And it was this majestic ancient bronze palace that was suspended above this demon sea, under the sky. Standing in front of the ancient bronze palace, Jun Haoyan couldn't help but feel a sense of insignificance, as if he was an ant standing in front of this palace. TSK, the scale of this palace is not inferior to the entire Demon Pung city. I wonder if there's something sealed within this ancient bronze palace? For example, the corpse of the golden-winged great rock? Jun Haoyan softly muttered. He noticed that the shape of this ancient bronze palace was not the same as the other palaces he had seen in the past. Instead, it was rectangular in shape. If it were not for the palace eaves that spread out, Jun Haoyan would even suspect that this ancient bronze palace was an ancient bronze coffin. Strange, there's actually no aura of ferocious beasts in this sea. Jun Haoyan lowered his eyes to look at the deathly still sea below. It was like a piece of stagnant water, without any ripples. He could not sense any aura of ferocious beasts in it. It was as if there was some terrifying existence here that caused these ferocious beasts to flee. Jun Haoyan's heart was on guard as he carefully walked towards the ancient bronze palace. The closer he got to the ancient bronze palace, the more Jun Haoyan could feel the vicissitudes of life that permeated from it. That is. Jun Haoyan's eyes focused as he slowly looked towards the center of the ancient bronze palace. There, a huge bronze door carved with abstruse and mysterious patterns stood like a giant pillar that supported the heavens. It was as majestic as a mountain. Chapter 24. In front of the giant bronze door was a layer of crimson light that enveloped the entire door. On the crimson light, Tao Xian's mysterious inscriptions flashed, making it look extraordinary. At this moment, outside the ancient bronze hall, many martial artists had gathered in front of the giant bronze door. These people were naturally here for the ruins left behind by the golden-winged rock. Many martial artists could no longer hold themselves back and attacked the crimson light. These martial artists were at least of the true energy realm, and many of them were at the second level of the true energy realm. However, no matter how hard they tried, the crimson light did not budge. The main character hasn't even arrived yet. You guys are not even supporting characters. How dare you think you can break the ruins? Jun Haoyan looked at the scene indifferently. He believed that before Jun Haoyan arrived, the door of the relic would not open. Jun Haoyan waited outside the ancient bronze hall for about half an hour before Naylan Shui arrived on a flying origin device. What's the point of coming so early? You still have to wait. Naylan Shui found Jun Haoyan and said angrily. Hearing this, Jun Haoyan looked at Naylan Shui indifferently and did not say anything. He continued to look at the giant bronze door. At this moment, more than 10 true energy realm martial artists were attacking the giant bronze door with all their might, but the giant bronze door did not budge. Haha, these people are funny. The giant bronze door will open automatically in 2 hours. Why are they wasting their energy? Following Jun Haoyan's gaze, Naylan Shui also saw what was happening in front of the giant bronze door. She immediately laughed. It will open in 2 hours? How did you know? Hearing this, Jun Haoyan's expression changed and he looked at Naylan Shui in confusion. Why should I tell you? Hearing Jun Haoyan's words, Naylan Shui stopped laughing and hid her expression. Seeing Naylan Shui's expression, Jun Haoyan did not continue to ask. He was certain that Naylan Shui had some connection with the ruins of the golden-winged rock. Boom! As the two of them spoke, a thunderous boom rang out in the sky. The sudden commotion immediately attracted the attention of everyone present. In the void, a dozen hideous scaled demonic flood dragons were wantonly dancing in the wind. There was a man standing on the back of each of the demonic flood dragons. The men carried swords on their backs, and their arrogance soared through the clouds. It's the disciples of the Proud Sword Villa. Proud Sword Villa. That's a first-rate power apart from the 7 holy lands. When the crowd below saw the demonic flood dragon in the void, and the man with the sword standing on top of it, they were all shocked. The sword manipulation technique of the Proud Sword Villa was well known throughout the world. At this moment, another change occurred in the void. A supergiant ship broke through the air and slowly floated above the ancient bronze palace. The giant ship swayed in the wind with an extraordinary aura. On the giant ship, there were several people standing with their hands behind their backs. Judging from their auras, they were all true energy boundary experts. On the giant ship, there was a large flag with the words Netherworld written on it. It's the Nether sect. The faces of the people below were once again filled with shock, and some of the rogue cultivators even paled. The Nether sect was on the same level as the Proud Sword Villa. They were both first-rate forces on the mainland. With both first-rate forces appearing at the same time, would they still have a share in this ruin? When Naylan Shui saw the two major forces, her face turned extremely pale. In her previous life, although these two major forces had sent people here as well, this was not a grand occasion. But it was definitely not such a big battle, and the strength of the people who came was also not so strong. No, I have to change my plan. Naylan Shui quickly made a decision in her heart. With my current strength, I can't participate in their battle at all. I can only give up on the inheritance of the golden-winged rock. I have to get that thing first. What's wrong with you? Seeing Naylan Shui's strange expression, Jun Haoyan asked softly. Nothing. I'm just a little scared after seeing so many experts. When Naylan Shui heard this, she immediately regained her senses and forced a smile. Was he an expert? When Jun Haoyan heard this, he looked at the disciples of the two major forces, in the void with disdain in his eyes. These people were just cannon fodder. At this moment, Jun Haoyan seemed to have sensed something, and looked into the distance. There, a black and white light broke through the sky, accompanied by an extremely powerful aura that rippled between heaven and earth. Under this aura, the expressions of the martial artists present changed drastically. Ha ha ha. I didn't expect the people from the Nether sect and the Proud Sword Villa to come and join in the fun. The black and white light tore through the air and finally turned into a huge black jar. Everyone's eyes immediately focused on the black jar. A tall and straight figure stood with his hands behind his back. A light breeze blew, and his long hair danced wildly, looking exceptionally arrogant. When he saw the person who came, Jun Haoyan's eyes narrowed, and his expression was a little solemn. Jun Haoyan. The person who came was the son of Providence, Jun Haoyan. Jun Haoyan. On the treasure ship of the Nether sect, a young man stared at Jun Haoyan in the void, his eyes filled with battle intent. The young man's name was Gu Yi, and his cultivation was at the second level of the true energy realm. He was a famous genius in the Nether sect. On the back of a demonic flood dragon, there was also a young man with a sword. After Jun Haoyan appeared, his originally closed eyes slowly opened, and the sword on his back began to tremble. Haha, Gu Yi Jian Fengyan, I didn't expect you to come too. Jun Haoyan looked at Gu Yi and the young man with a wanton smile on his face. If you can come, why can't I? The young man with the sword, Jian Fengyan, only stared at Jun Haoyan. The sword on his back faintly showed signs of breaking out of its scabbard, and the demonic flood dragon below him also roared anxiously. What, a loser like you still wants to fight with me? Seeing Jian Fengyan's battle intent, Jun Haoyan's face was full of disdain, and his tone was incomparably arrogant. Come on, I don't mind teaching you a good lesson again. You. Hearing this, Jian Fengyan immediately recalled the scene of him being defeated by Jun Haoyan, and the sword on his back suddenly came out of its scabbard. Jun Haoyan, do you dare to fight again? Jian Fengyan held his sword and pointed it at Jun Haoyan, sword intent surrounding his body. Brother Jian, let me help you. Gu Yi's figure flashed and left the treasure ship. He came to Jian Fengyan's side, and looked at Jun Haoyan with a face full of fighting spirit. Ha ha ha, you two losers want to defeat me. This is simply wishful thinking. Jun Haoyan laughed loudly. He suddenly took a step forward, and a vast and majestic true essence swept out from his body like a tide. For a moment, the entire sky darkened. Gu Yi and Jian Fengyan's expressions changed slightly, and their eyes revealed incomparable seriousness. Fourth level of the true energy realm? Everyone present also sensed the terrifying true essence surging out of Jun Haoyan's body. Their pupils constricted as they sucked in a breath of cold air. Jun Haoyan had actually stepped into the fourth level of the true energy realm. Chapter 25. In the air, there was a huge black pot that was emitting a powerful aura. Jun Haoyan stepped on the black demonic pot and looked down on the world. His cultivation base of the fourth stage of the true essence realm surged out. In an instant, the entire area was shrouded by his aura. Everyone trembled as they stared at the sky in shock. Even the Proud Sword Manor and the Nether sect were slightly suppressed by Jun Haoyan. It's the core disciple of the Qingyan sacred ground, Jun Haoyan. I can't believe he's here. I heard that his talent is ranked in the top 10 in the entire Qingyan sacred ground. With such an aura, I'm afraid his cultivation base is already at the fourth stage of the true essence realm. The disciples of the smaller factions and the rogue cultivators were shocked when they saw Jun Haoyan's powerful aura. When Jun Haoyan revealed his cultivation, the faces of the Nether sect's genius, Gu Yi, and the Proud Sword Villa's Jian Fengyan immediately became extremely unsightly. Humph. The two of them snorted and returned to their own factions. They did not dare to challenge Jun Haoyan again. The last time Jun Haoyan defeated them, it was because he was at a higher level. Now that Jun Haoyan's cultivation base was higher than theirs, they could not see any hope of defeating Jun Haoyan. Jun Haoyan's cultivation base was at the fourth stage of the true essence realm. At this moment, Jun Outyin was the center of attention. He was unparalleled. Nalan Shuai looked at the incomparably arrogant man in the air, and her face turned extremely pale, extremely ugly to look at. "This is the man you broke off the engagement with?" Jun Haoyin said calmly when he saw Nalan Shuai's expression. "Yes," Nalan Shuai said expressionlessly. "Do you regret it?" Jun Haoyin asked. If I could do it all over again, I would have killed him on the day I broke off the engagement." Nalan Shuai's face turned cold when she heard this as she recalled her past life. She thought that after her rebirth, she would be able to catch up with Jun Outyin with her current cultivation speed. However, it seemed like the distance between them was getting further and further. Hearing this, Jun Haoyin's eyes revealed a trace of astonishment. He thought that Nalan Shuai would be filled with regret at this moment. According to the novels he had read in the past, after seeing the Son of Destiny reveal his peerless talent, the female supporting character, who broke off the engagement, would usually reveal an extremely regretful expression. Some even fell in love with the Son of Providence, and were taken into the harem of the Son of Providence. This Nalan Shuai had quite the personality. In this world where only the strong were respected, she did not change her original intention, just because Jun Outyin had become stronger. This was already a rare and precious achievement. With your talent, after you enter the Jade Lake sacred ground, your cultivation progress won't be worse than his, Jun Haoyin said lightly. Nalan Shuai was only 16 years old this year, and she was already at the half-step true energy boundary. As long as Nalan Shuai joined the Jade Lake sacred ground, it would not be impossible for her to catch up to Jun Aotian. Nalan Shuai nodded. As long as he could get that item from the ruins, it would not be difficult for him to surpass Jun Aotian, because there were many people below, and Jun Haoyin and Nalan Shuai were standing outside. Jun Haoyin did not notice Nalan Shuai. Boom! Not long after Jun Haoyin's arrival, cracks appeared on the blood-red light shield above the giant bronze door. After a while, it shattered into thousands of pieces. At the same time, rays of blood-red light shot out from the giant bronze door. The next moment, the giant bronze door disappeared. What's going on? Nalan Shuai looked at the giant bronze door that had suddenly disappeared. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. It's supposed to be in 2 hours. How is this possible? As expected, the door to the ruins opened as soon as Jun Outyin arrived. This ruin is probably the opportunity that the author prepared for Jun Outyin. Jun Haoyin's eyes were filled with an "I knew it" expression. Seeing the giant bronze door disappear, the rest of the people were shocked. Then they began to go crazy. "The ruins have opened. The ruins have opened. The ruins are mine. Charge!" The disciples of the small factions and the itinerant cultivators below were completely crazy. One by one, they rushed toward the giant bronze door. "Let's go in too." The disciples of Aojian Villa and Hades sect who were in the air also turned into streaks of light and entered. When Jun Outyin, who was standing on the Black Devil's vase, saw this, a look of disdain appeared on his face. Then his ethereal force surged and activated the Black Devil's vase. In the next moment, streaks of black and white chi surged out from Jun Outyin's body. "A bunch of idiots who don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. How can I allow you to meddle with my fortune?" Jun Outyin looked at the giant bronze door. Then, he controlled the Black Devil's vase and turned into a streak of black and white light as he rushed in. The black and white light contained a terrifying power. Wherever it passed, the void exploded. Some of the martial artists who were rushing toward the ruins exploded and died when they came into contact with the black and white light. The true energy realm elites who were majestic in the outside world were like ants that could be killed with a wave of his hand. Wherever Jun Outyin passed, blood and flesh splattered and screams filled the air. However, no one dared to make a sound. Jun Outyin, the core disciple of the Green Cloud Sacred Ground. With this background and talent, he had the right to be arrogant. "Let's go. It's time for us to go in," Jun Outyin said as he gently nudged Nalan Shuai, who was still in a daze. Nalan Shuai came back to her senses and looked at Jun Outyin. Then she asked, Can you tell me your name? If you die in the ruins, I won't even be able to remember the name of my benefactor. My name is Haotian, Jun Haotian said calmly. Then he stepped into the entrance of the ruins. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. As Jun Haotian stepped into the entrance of the ruins, there was a sharp sound of the wind breaking. Jun Haotian realized that he seemed to have entered a whirlpool at the bottom of the sea. There was an extremely chaotic force that kept pushing him forward. Then, endless darkness engulfed Jun Haotian's vision. At the same time, a wild and ancient aura rushed toward him. Is this the interior of the ruins? When he stepped on the ground, a faint light tore through Jun Haotian's vision. When Jun Haotian saw his surroundings clearly, his expression changed drastically. Jun Haotian's gaze swept through his surroundings, only to see that he was currently on a barren land. Countless huge mountains rose and fell one after another, with towering trees that reached the clouds, blotting out the sky and covering the sun. The entire world presented a scene of desolation. Where's Nayland Schwer? Could it be that she was separated by the spatial turbulence in the whirlpool just now? Looks like this ruin is not just the tomb of the golden-winged rock as I thought. This place should be like some small worlds that have their own space. Jun Haotian frowned. According to his original imagination, this should be the tomb of the golden-winged rock, or the cave where it used to cultivate. Closing his eyes, Jun Haotian focused his mind and felt the heaven and earth within a radius of tens of thousands of meters. In this heaven and earth, he could not feel any aura. It was terrifyingly silent. Chapter 26. This fluctuation is... Jun Haotian's expression suddenly changed as he sensed his surroundings with his spirit power. He could feel an extremely powerful energy fluctuation, less than a kilometer away from him. This fluctuation doesn't seem to belong to a cultivator or a ferocious beast. Let's go take a look first. Jun Haotian slowly withdrew his spirit and opened his eyes. He took a step forward and soared into the sky, disappearing into the mountains in an instant. With Jun Haotian's current speed, he could cover a distance of a kilometer in an instant even if he had to cross over a mountain range. Passing through the dense forest, Jun Haotian quickly approached the place where the energy fluctuation was surging. It was a lakeside that was more than 10,000 feet long. The blue sky and white clouds were reflected in it, and the entire lakeside was as clear as a sapphire. At the center of the lakeside, there was a green lotus swaying in the wind. The refreshing fragrance of the flower pervaded the entire world. Green lotus? Jun Haotian slowly landed on the lakeside, his gaze resting on the green lotus. This green lotus was about 10 feet long. A hazy green light surged on the lotus petals. From afar, this green lotus looked like it was carved. At the same time, a terrifying fluctuation flashed across the petals and finally gathered at the center of the green lotus. Lotus seed? Suddenly, Jun Haotian's pupil shrank. At the center of the green lotus, there was a ball of green light surging. It was actually a lotus seed about the size of a thumb. Circles of green light were emitted from the lotus seed, filled with vitality. The energy fluctuation that Jun Haotian had sensed earlier came from this green lotus and the lotus seed inside. What a rich vitality! Jun Haotian swallowed hard. Although he didn't know what the green lotus and lotus seed in front of him were, he guessed that it was possible. However, he was able to guess that this azure lotus should be some sort of heavenly treasure. Otherwise, it would not be able to condense a lotus seed with such dense vitality. This is good stuff. If you're seriously injured, you just need to consume this lotus seed, and you'll be able to recover very quickly. A bright smile appeared on Jun Haotian's face. He didn't expect to encounter such a treasure as soon as he entered the ruins. It seemed that this trip was worth it. Lifting his feet, Jun Haotian sprinted towards the lakeside at lightning speed. However, just as his figure was about to reach the sky above the lakeside, he suddenly stopped and stared at the calm lakeside below. Boom! The calm lake started to churn violently. A huge water column that was at least 100 zhang tall shot up into the sky and headed towards Jun Haotian. The rumbling sound was deafening. Sure enough, there was still a ferocious beast hiding here. Fortunately, I was always on guard. With the power of Jun Haoyan's soul, it was only natural that he could sense the existence of the fierce beasts. The reason why he entered the sky above the lake so recklessly was to lure out the fierce beasts. Staring at the incoming water column, Jun Haoyan didn't panic. He directly raised his hand and punched forward. An incomparably vigorous true yuan condensed on his fist. Finally, it surged down like a flood and landed on the water column. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The lake water poured down like a rainstorm. However, it didn't fall on the lake. Instead, it formed a snowstorm and spread out. In the blink of an eye, it enveloped the entire lake. In this snowstorm, Jun Haoyan saw a huge creature break out of the lake and appear in the snowstorm. It was a giant dragon covered in blue scales. Its body was more than 100 zhang long. On its ferocious head was a single horn that was as straight as a spear. A cold light surged on it, as if it could tear apart the world in an instant. Roar! As soon as the giant dragon came out of the water, it roared at Jun Haoyan in an extremely ferocious manner. Its huge eyes, which were the size of gongs, stared intently at Jun Haoyan. A bone-piercing chill flashed in its eyes, as if it was warning Jun Haoyan. I originally thought that there were no living creatures in this world. Now it seems that the golden-winged rock has left quite a few fierce beasts inside. Is it planning to test the people who enter the ruins? According to ancient records, all rare treasures have a guardian beast guarding them. This giant dragon should be the guardian beast of this green lotus, Jun Haoyan softly muttered. But this guardian beast's strength is still a little weak. It's only at the second level of the true energy realm. Looking at the ferocious and terrifying giant dragon before him, Jun Haoyan didn't take it seriously. He lifted his foot and prepared to fly directly to the center of the lake. Roar! Jun Haoyan's action of ignoring it immediately angered the giant python. It roared at the sky. The giant python's body, which was more than 100 zhang long, swayed wildly, rolling up a huge wave. The huge wave turned into numerous water blades, which swept towards Jun Haoyan like a rain of swords. Seeing this, Jun Haoyan's face turned cold. He opened the flame wings on his back, and his body turned into an afterimage, easily avoiding the wind and snow that swept towards him. In the next moment, Jun Haoyan's body appeared above the giant dragon's head. He said indifferently, "Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." With a thought, he quickly activated the Dutian demon god technique. Behind him, there was a sea of blood. 12 demon god shadows floated above the sea of blood. The power of the demon god, bless me! With a low roar, the 12 demon god shadows immediately gushed out streaks of bloody light and entered Jun Haoyan's body. Whoosh! In the next moment, Jun Haoyan's clenched fist was like a peerless sword that was unsheathed. With a dazzling bloody brilliance, it hit the giant dragon directly below and landed on the giant python's head. Jun Haoyan had used almost all of his physical strength in this punch. The power contained in this punch was no less than 1,000,000 jin of force. It broke the scales on the giant dragon's head and smashed its head. Hot blood spurted out from Jun Haoyan's fist, dyeing the sky red. After easily dealing with the giant dragon, Jun Haoyan wiped the blood off his hands. Then, he leisurely flew towards the center of the lake. The closer he got to the green lotus, the stronger the fragrance in the air. What a treasure! Floating above the water, Jun Haoyan stood in front of the green lotus. Looking at the lotus seed in the center of the green lotus, and feeling the vitality on it, a trace of ecstasy flashed in his eyes. It was a good sign to have obtained such a rare treasure just after entering the ruins. He raised his hand, and was about to hold the lotus seed in his hand. However, at this moment, several sharp sounds of wind breaking rang out behind him. Hurry up, the sound is coming from here. Maybe some treasure has appeared. Jun Haoyan narrowed his eyes and saw several silhouettes rapidly appearing behind him. These people should not have sensed the fluctuation of the green lotus. It was purely the sound of the battle between Jun Haoyan and the giant dragon that attracted them. When they arrived, they happened to see Jun Haoyan plucking the green lotus. Their eyes were full of greed. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.